Well, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just had to restart the router.
Uh-oh.
Kai, this is not your interview, ma'am.
Hello, Adam Fields.
Hey, Adam. How'd your week go so far? Is it behaving itself?
Yeah, somewhat. Somewhat. Been not too busy, not too much. Fairly productive. How about you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. There we go. Just busy with work. Still, I don't have my car back. We're aiming at either tomorrow or possibly Thursday. I'm thinking Thursday probably. The part was supposed to be here. It's supposedly going to be here by 9 p.m. So if they don't have, they're working on borrowed time.
It gets
Hey,
drug
Hector.
out with them vehicles. What's up, Hector?
What's up,
Yeah,
guys?
it's. I mean, it's a starter. So
What's up, Uncle Bruce?
What's happening?
Bruce.
What's up with y'all?
You got the best hand,
I
huh?
don't know about all that. I ain't gonna say that.
No.
No, sir. I forgot
What'd you forget, Ben?
I think I got it
If
now.
I
My
had your
login.
hand, if I had your hand, I'd throw mine back.
Man, you next week, you be asking for your hand again.
What you been doing, man?
Man, just working.
What's up?
That's about it. What's up, Caleb?
What up, Big O?
What's up,
What's going
man?
on?
What up, Michael? What up, Amanda?
Hey.
What up, everybody? How
All
you doing?
right.
Doing all
Here,
right?
just trying to get everything situated here.
How are you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm doing real good.
Good.
I'm looking forward to this. Man, 2 years. 2 years.
2 years, man.
Within
Hey, what's
years.
up, Jerry?
Crazy.
Mr. Green. Yep, that's about right.
What's going
Which one?
on, Justin?
Hey, Justin. Exciting night, guys.
It is an exciting night.
It
Okay, we're
is.
looking for origin stories here.
Oh, yeah. It's taken 2 years to get to this point. 2 years. Finally, it's my night. Let's get it on.
Somebody hand him
I
a small
loved it. I loved it.
statuette so I could be like, they like me. They really like me. Mm-hmm. I see you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see you.
No, I love
Oh,
when we do it to other people. I love what we do, and this is incredible. Like the 2-year anniversary where we're all interviewing each other, it was perfect timing.
this has been super fun so far.
Yes.
So I've really looked forward to sitting down with you guys and learning. Like there were things that I didn't know about you guys. You know that it makes me feel closer to you.
Yeah, as it
As
should.
cheesy as that sounds.
As it should.
And Amanda, you
Absolutely.
know
He's
what?
getting
Amanda, if you was close to me, I know you without a ride, I'll let you borrow one of my vehicles so you can get back and forth to work or whatever you had to do.
and he means
Oh,
that.
I
Real
know.
talk. Real
I
talk.
mean, luckily, like I've had a great support system so far. One, I mean, it's great that I can work from home. They've been really gracious with letting me do that. But I mean, Adam Fields has actually been helping me with getting everything kind of orchestrated and whatnot. So so that's been a blessing. So thank you to Adam for that. But
Yeah,
no,
that's awesome.
I appreciate the love and support. You know, I know some amazing people through all this. So definitely love you guys. So
Absolutely.
who's ready?
Hey, look, I can't wait. So, Caleb, it's
Let's
on
get
you,
it on.
baby. It's on you tonight, man, because I got
Hey,
some stuff for you because I want to see where you going.
y'all
Yeah,
ask the
I
questions.
got plenty of
answer.
questions myself.
Oh yeah, I know I got questions.
Yeah. So intro, hey, I'm Caleb Weddle. Man, been doing this for 2 years with this amazing crew. Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been fun. There's been bumps, bruises. There's been times that we didn't know what we're gonna do. But the 3 people on this live, Lord, we've all come together every single week, and for us to do it every single Tuesday, the magnitude of what we're doing and what we stand on, and it's just amazing. And I want to give roses to these people that are on this screen with me, because man, it's crazy. 2 years, every single week, we don't miss a week. If it's a Christmas week and it falls on Tuesday, we do it the Monday before, or you know, whatever the case is, but we don't miss a Tuesday. And yeah, there was, like I said, many obstacles on the way, and we'll get into that later. But my name's Caleb Weddle, Bully Pride Productions. My wife deserves more flowers than me by plenty of means, Nakia Weddle. Man, we started this about 8 years ago. We got our first bully, Kane. That's actually our logo. Actually behind us, that is
that's the
actually
logo right
like
there.
of our first dog that we actually bought. Kyla was 6 months old, 7 months old when we got our first
Brand
bully.
new.
So she has literally grown up with the bullies. Kalea has grown up in the whelping box. Literally every birthday, it seems like we actually have a litter on our birthday. I think 2 years in a row, we actually had a litter on Kalea's birthday, October 2nd.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's been a long journey. It's been fun. We've had many dogs. Genesis, rest in peace. He passed about 4 weeks ago. He took us to a whole different level. He really showed us the show world, and that show bug, if it bites you, you know what I'm talking about, because once it bites you, you're hooked. You want to get your dog out there, you want the competition, and that's exactly what took place with Genesis. And he took us to around the world, literally. We actually had our passports. He was people overseas were actually trying to get us to go over there, to nationals over there, at ICBR nationals, and then for breedings. They never obviously got to take place, but we were ready for it. But yeah, he opened up doors to us that would have never been open to us. And man, we are so honored to have that time with him when he was here. And his prodigies definitely live on. Levi, Exodus, you know, we named him Genesis for a reason.
Hey, look.
And then,
You can't be answering all the questions. We got to ask you now. You answer that. We ain't
First of
gonna
all,
have nothing to ask you.
right. He took my
Oh, I
first
can.
question
Hey,
out to
this
ask
is
you who the
still the
dog on your
intro.
hey,
logo
I
is.
can always,
Fine.
I can always come up with something to ask. I promise you that.
I know you will.
You ain't gotta
Like,
worry
I know
about
it's not
stuff
fair,
yet.
man.
I got plenty of questions.
leave some cookie crumbles, man. God dang it.
Oh, but yeah,
Hey,
no,
but
we're located in.
look. I
Yeah.
want to ask you this. I know Genesis was a big loss. He was the face of your kennel. He affected, man, your kennel, your family lives, and stuff like that. But I want to know who's next in line. Who's gonna be the face of Bully Pride?
Heir apparent.
Who's gonna be that? And you know what? The pictures that you have sent me and the production off of that boy, man, is some of it is unreal. And he outproduced himself on that farm boy that you sent me. That's a good looking boy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to know what's your next move, man? What's your next big move? And who's gonna be the face of your kennel? That's what I want to know.
All right. The face of our program right now instantly was Leviticus. He instantly took over. He was ready. We prepared for this. We weren't preparing, like, let's please get it where it's understood. We were prepared for this. Our program was prepared for longevity. We weren't just looking at just one dog, and we knew that obviously at some point the dog's lifespan was going to come to an end. Unfortunately, it was a whole lot sooner than what was expected, but Leviticus was ready, and Genesis is, man, I'm telling you, he's looking down, and it's crazy. The litter, the same day he passed, I took China to the vet, and man, that was one of the worst days ever. But I took Sean out to the vet because I was like, we need good news. We need
Something's got to
something. We need some form of good news,
Yeah.
really, just to be able to get ourselves off the floor right now, because it was unexpected. Genesis was a completely healthy dog. He just went to a show in Texas. He just did a breeding. I took him to Louisiana. We did a breeding at 3 o'clock in the morning, like 2.5, 3 weeks before this took place. But yes, Leviticus is the face of our program. Everyone thought it was going to be Teddy. I love Teddy. I absolutely love Teddy. We produced both of them.
I love that
But
dog.
Leviticus is
Teddy's an outcross,
that's
though.
what you were gonna say.
Teddy's an outcross though, so that was the one thing I
Teddy's
kept
an
in the back of my
outcross
head. I
and
was like, no,
Leviticus.
it's gonna be internal. It's gonna be a dog that was created start to finish, both sides, your program, Bully Pride. So like for
exactly.
me,
And
I was looking at Leviticus or Exodus.
yeah,
So those are the two that I was kind of looking at, and then so Leviticus to me, I feel is a true heir apparent. Like I was seeing him more frequently. I mean, I've been a fan of his since the puppy pictures, because I remember I was asking about him. I was like, "Oh, that one, I like that one." I was,
yeah.
so it's just like I've been a big fan. So I'm really glad that you guys are. I mean, to navigate something like that, and I had this discussion with you not too long ago. When we talked about it, it's you didn't just lose a dog. It's like you guys lost a compass while you're in the middle of the ocean. And as a family, that was devastating. And you've navigated it so gracefully. And I think that you guys not it's not like you should pat yourself on the back kind of deal, but like you guys you should be proud that you guys were able to do that and had the wherewithal to power through and still be able to honor him in every way that you were able to. So I mean, that couldn't have been easy, but you guys did it very masterfully.
Absolutely. And again, man, shout out to Nakaya. Like when we were coming back, like the conversations that took place, and that woman right there, her persistence, her perseverance, like her intangible, it's crazy. Like she's like, we double down. We do everything exactly how we do it, and we continue forward, and we honor his legacy. And I was like, I'm with you. Let's ride.
Speaking of which, from the looks of things, y'all may have the best overall litter you put on the ground right now. And I know y'all got some good things coming, man. But I tell you
Beautiful
what,
little peanuts.
that in-house breeding right there that's on the ground is exceptional, man. It really is. They're still real young, but really great looking pups, man. And like you said, you went to get good news and you got it. And turns out, they're on the ground. They're looking great.
Looking great.
Got a little female that's got a certain look about her, man.
Man,
Ooh,
instantly,
man, that was a
when I
gift.
went and picked those puppies up, I was hovering around the vet, literally, like driving around.
I would have as well.
They put a picture up. They put this piece of paper up and said closed, like they were doing the C-section. I love our vet office, man. Lord Jesus, they've been so incredible.
Yeah.
But I was hovering around because I wanted to see these puppies, and I wanted to make sure everything went perfect. So literally, I was driving around and I saw the light come back on, and I saw that it was reopening, and I pulled right in the parking lot, and they called me literally as I pulled in, and she's like, everything went great, like they communicate everything, and I was like, can I see him? Like that was my first time, and she's like, well, yeah. I was like, all right, well, I'm walking in, and literally opened the door and walked in because there was so much sentimental, just program advancement. There was just so much with this that just needed to go perfect because it was the first 2 times Genesis, and we were always going to try to honor him. And for us to get confirmation on the same day that he passed, it was like he knew that we were good. He's like, all right, y'all, I have done my part here. I'm going to get out of the way because if not, Leviticus is going to be in my shadow. Like I'm getting out of the way, and it's hard. It's hard to even sit there and say that because, of course, I would want him to be here. I would want him to be retired. He was never going to go anywhere. But just to look at it like that, we got to, because there's no way that we could sit there and go on if we didn't sit there. Like, we can't mourn every day.
Yeah.
You know, we got to pick ourselves back up and we got to keep moving forward. And that's the persistence that people got to have programs. Like, things are going to take place. Lord, things are going to take place. And I never, ever, ever, like, when you see someone else get affected by it, you're like, man, that sucks.
Yes.
When you see a beautiful dog and you know the impact that it had, it's like, man. But when it hits home, man, you ain't ready. Like, you are not ready. And to tell our daughters like that, that's
that
what,
was,
Lord. Our oldest, man, she understands it. That was literally a brother to her. Like, that was, oh man, yeah, that was tough.
But Kayla,
But
look, did you get them collected? Did you have them collected?
man, I'd been in contact with your vets, and we were hoping to actually get them collected this winter. And that's why I'm saying, like, when
Guys,
you
look,
never know
when
what's
you
going to take place, get them
when
collected.
you have a dog of that caliber, get them collected. I don't care if he's young. Soon as he's ready to breed, if you see what he's doing, get your dog collected, because you always can have him. If he's gone, you still got him. You still can run it back. Get your dogs collected. And I hate
Absolutely.
you didn't get that dog collected, man. I really did.
I hate so too. And I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is what we do this show for. People need to understand and learn from the mistakes that we make, because what we talk about, anytime that I come on here and I say anything, like, I'm not the most factual person by any means, but I've learned through mistakes, and I try to share those to make sure the next person doesn't go through those same hurdles.
Yeah.
If
I've
you have
always
a dog of caliber that you really want to go back to, that's line bred, get them collected.
Absolutely.
You never, ever want that to happen to you, but you never know when it's going to happen. So get that dog collected so you can always go back.
I've always said the only mistakes in life are the lessons you choose not to learn from, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And so as long as you learn something from it, you know, it's not a mistake, it's a lesson.
Exactly.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
you know, you can't be prepared for everything all the time, but you know now that in similar situations you'll need to get those as early as you can, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's crazy, because we talk about it all the time.
All the
But then we looked at Genesis like a Superman, man. Like, we looked at him as, like, seriously, and it's not an excuse. Like, we should have got him collected. And
Yeah, but he was still so young, man. You know, you just
man.
But
Yeah.
see, that's
you know.
that's where we fall short at. We think they got time, you know what I'm saying? But you don't ever know what's gonna happen.
Never
Yeah.
know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And it was just something that was unexpected. You know, that it wasn't, you know, I mean, he had years left in him. He was a super healthy dog. And so it's just one of those things where when something like this happens, it's incredibly unexpected. You sit there and all you can do is just look back and be like, you know, hindsight's 2020. And, you know, but I think that you navigated it very well. And I don't, while yes, obviously 100% what everyone's saying, collect, you know, you never want to be put in that position ever, ever, ever. You are incredibly lucky that you used him as your foundation. So you have pieces of him in so many forms in hand. So, I mean, it's, you know, and again, that last litter, I mean, what a gift, man. That was a parting gift. It really was. So, I mean, you've still got him.
We have 8 productions off Genesis, and that's not including the litter that's on the ground. It's not his, but it's 2 times. It's his daughter and his son, different moms that were bred together. And then there's a lot of co-owns. Exodus, he's a co-own. Nathaniel Kohler, shout out. He's doing incredible by him. Man, there's a lot of co-owns off of Genesis. Odin, champion Odin. You know, that's China's littermate brother. Genesis bred to every dog that was on our yard. The one breeding that we didn't get to do with them that I wish we could have done was the Kiki. That's the breeding we did. Yoko to Princess. That was the next breeding that was going to happen with him. because everything else he had bred to. So it was gonna have to be an outcross or something that was going to him next anyway. So program wise, we were fine. Family wise, it hit us harder. A lot of people wanted access to him, and hey, but program wise, we were completely fine. We were built to sustain, and it's going forward. Teddy, we did that for our outcross. Leviticus was part of the program. That was part of going forward, and that was part of what was going to take place next anyways. We built Teddy for that outcross that could take place. Like every single breeding was strategically placed to make sure that we never breed ourselves into a corner.
That's one thing that I like about y'all's program. One of the things I think is a good illustration of something that's very important in a program, which is lining out and thinking ahead and getting a few generations ahead and really planning some stuff out, because you can't just up and breed dogs when they come in the heat. You got to have a plan, and I think y'all are a great example of that foreshadowing it takes to run a good program. And man, China, that that girl right there, dude. China she's a bad bitch, straight up. She is bad, and she's got a bright future ahead of her. And I guarantee you, we're gonna all see on this litter right here.
Oh yeah.
She's a producer.
Man, both those head pieces, both of them got them from Genesis. Lord, it was perfect.
It was perfect.
A perfect breed.
So on that note of productions, I know you got some things upcoming, and I don't want to get into Kaya's way because I know she, but you do have some things on the horizon, right?
Absolutely. We are not.
I know you do, but you ain't far from a couple breedings, right?
We are not far from them at all.
Never.
Well, I don't
This man doesn't sleep. They don't sleep. They don't sleep.
I don't want to pull the curtain down. I know Kaya likes to do that. I don't want to get in her way, but is there anything you can tell us about what you got coming or what to look forward to?
I'll definitely give you a teaser.
That's what
Teddy's first breeding is taking place very, very soon. It's going to be an in-house breeding. It's going to be to a very, very Teddy. Okay. It's going to be to a producing female that has productions on our yard, and together they are going to throw magic.
Super exciting.
That's the only teaser I'm going to give you.
That's all we get.
Genesis bred too.
It's a little morsel, and that's all you get. You don't get the cake.
Yes, but there is no icing. I would not.
No icing.
Chris had asked a little bit earlier. Can you hit on what happened, to Genesis, if if you felt like talking about it?
Well, there's still a lot of unanswered questions on that. Something attacked his kidney where he couldn't. Yeah, it was very sudden. There's still questions, so that's all I'm gonna really say on that. So I don't know why that was asked, but no.
Well, here's what I know. I know because we've talked about it, and because I know what your program goes through to protect what it has, and I know that long before he passed, I know that that y'all did annuals, full checkups. Anytime he had a sniffle, man, he's been checked out. He was as took care of as possible. And with a kidney or something like that, man, it just seems to me like he probably got into something or got a hold of something.
Yeah.
All right, so some of that it's genetic. So here, I'll go ahead and answer it to make sure that so we can clear this up since the question was asked. It was not genetic. No,
it's all environmental.
He gets completely annual checks, blood work done every single time, his kidney levels checked every single time, which blood work pertains to that. Yep. There was something that attacked his kidney, and they were saying that it might be actually something that he got into.
Yeah.
They were talking about did he get into something, or was something given to him or something like that by someone else? So that's why I'm saying there's questions that are still unanswered with that. But no, to answer your questions, no, it's not genetic.
That's the key. That's what I was That's why I
Another
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
what I said, Caleb, because I wanted to clear
Oh, yeah.
that part of it
Yeah,
up,
absolutely.
because
Oh,
that
absolutely.
that is that is
Yeah.
the one thing that y'all do know.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know what I mean? And so
he had his genetic testing. That dog has, I mean, he's had blood work and fecal done every single time he's ever gone to a vet.
yeah,
Again, he's, you know, been super, super healthy, very active. There is, no, this is not something, and the way that he, I mean, the way he tanked, it was hours, a matter of hours. That's indicative of something that I mean, it got in a system, and that's not something that genetics do. So, I
Yeah.
mean, for
No, if
anybody who knows
Genesis
anything
stubs
about
his
dogs,
right.
toe,
genetics don't work like that. Okay,
if
genetic
Genesis
issues
stubs
do not
his
work
toe, he
like
goes to
that.
the vet.
yeah.
If anything's wrong with Genesis, he goes to the vets.
Mhm.
Genesis, we
Yeah.
take him everywhere, or he takes us everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally, he has shown us the world. So
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
our vets know him very well. He would go into Walmart here. He would go into Track. Everybody knew Genesis.
Matter of fact,
But see,
Genesis
look,
left the
you
world
you
very,
know
very
what?
quickly.
I'm gonna say this right here. If you do research and backtrack the techno line dogs, you will know if it was genetic or not. You know what I'm saying? And you never heard nobody else saying about the problem, the
Yeah.
same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was genetic, it would be like in a family tree. It would come on down the
Yeah.
line. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You will see more of this. What I'm saying in that
Yeah.
lineage of dogs.
And
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it wasn't
you're
genetic.
not going to find it. It's not, because it
Yeah.
wasn't. I mean, again, that's not how genetics work.
No.
This happened way too fast for that to be the case, unfortunately. Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's so yeah. Anybody that wanted to know the answer to that question, that's it. It's not something that's genetic. There's nothing to worry about other than obviously trying to track down what it was so it doesn't affect another dog. So I
Absolutely. And
mean,
always get your dog's blood work done. Take them for annuals.
mhm,
Make sure you take them for annuals. Because things like genetic things could be detected to make sure they don't take place. So always, do your research on the bloodline, and
That's
then
right.
always take
You
your dogs in
got
for
to.
annual appointments.
well, quite actually, that's your responsibility. That's all of our responsibility as breeders, man. That's our job to make sure that we're not passing things along that we can
mhm,
stop short.
Yeah.
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
You know,
absolutely.
and that's one of the more difficult things about what we do. You know, anybody can put two dogs together, but learning your lines and learning what the do's and the don'ts within your pedigrees, and making sure that you've covered your bases, man. Because you know sometimes things happen, but when you've done all you can do there, man, you know that ethically you've done what you can as a breeder. So, and that's important. And I think it shows with flying colors that y'all have done that. And so I'm just so sorry for your loss, brother. And like you said, regardless of your loss, I'm very excited for your program. Still got a lot going on. And really he was on OG status at this point anyway. I mean, you could have went back to him a few times, of course, but you've got plenty of his blood there, man. And so what's this teaser all about? Let me hear about
Oh
that.
man. Well, yeah, Teddy. Like Teddy, we built him for a reason.
Uh-huh.
Literally,
We've been
that
talking
breeding
about this
was
dog for
so
3 years before the breeding was
Yes.
even done.
Yeah.
We even planned. He was like, "I think this is where I might be heading with it," and this was years ago. He and I had this conversation years ago. So
so
that's
strategic. So strategic.
so
Emmanuel
strategic.
Tavares, my boy, Top Gun, the owner of Top Gun. They were campaigning at the same time, Genesis and Top Gun. We ran into him almost everywhere we went. I'd love seeing Emmanuel, but I hated seeing Top Gun
He was like,
because that
"I am
dude is tough.
Roman."
Lord, man, all
I'll tell you
respect.
what, I had Sarah send me some pictures of his son probably just a few months ago, and he's a little over a year old now. I think he might be pushing about 18 months now. And uh one thing about that line from Future to Top Gun and on down, uh that's a good producing line, man. And so if I had to bring in outcross blood, I think you made a very wise decision there, and it worked and it went well. And to have that chocolate in there too, man. Teddy Teddy is
So
I
big.
I don't know if there's a better way to say that. He's really just a one in a lifetime dog. He's an exceptional dude, man. And what a tank.
Man, he
He's
is
already, he's got
tough.
to be 80 pounds already. What is he
Oh, man.
weighing?
Seeing him
Man,
in
he's way
person.
Oh
more
my
than that.
The
gosh.
pictures, the
No,
pictures
80
he's
pounds?
That boy went over buck.
I
Oh my
I
God.
haven't seen him in a few months, so I'm just guessing, really. You know,
Yes. Oh my God. All right.
Oh,
So
it's
the
massive.
updated, I'll give y'all the 10-month stats. The 10-month stats, because people don't realize this and people are shocked at this. Teddy is XL height. Teddy is almost 21 inches, and Teddy weighed 115 pounds at 10 months old.
I can't believe it. I didn't know, and you know, for a while we didn't know if he was going to get tall
Man,
enough to be XL
he
because he was so stocky when he was young.
Well,
and
because we
he's
saw him
still,
at that
he has
show in Troy.
never gone through a lengthy stage. It's remarkable. His back is so short that he's just so bully.
Teddy,
Man, his
good
bone is
tank.
different. It was the perfect breeding. And the reason why we use Top Gun instead of Future, I'll tell you, is I think Top Gun is going to be better producing. He goes from a producer, but his mom is an inbred Chicks Dig It daughter.
Yeah,
Pretty
his
much
mom's
every dog that we
beautiful animal.
bring in is gonna, like, I love when the female is inbred because I know the traits I'm gonna get from her.
Yeah.
So the chocolate, the bone that Chicks Dig It brought in to Future was perfect. It was a perfect breeding. Tanner Blankenship produced this beautiful litter, and man, Top Gun. So then we took Top Gun to an inbred Yoko daughter. It was a perfect breeding. Like, me and Emmanuel stayed on the phone for like 4 hours one night. Like, he answered, it's like 10:30 at night. Emmanuel, like, man, family dude, I love it. It's like, so to get him on the phone, you're gonna have to wait till like nighttime. Like late at night.
Yep.
But man, I love talking dog, and I love talking dog with Emmanuel because, man, he really, like, his mind really, really works different. I've been trying to get him on the show, but he just doesn't like going on camera. Shout out to Emmanuel Tavares again, my boy. But we had Top Gun figured out before we had the female figured out. It's like, as soon as we saw her, as soon as we saw Top Gun, every time I saw him, I told Emmanuel, like, we're gonna bring him in, but we need a buffer. We need a buffer between him and Genesis that's going to make sure it does it right, because we got one shot at this. What's the buffer gonna be? Both their phenols very, very, very similar. Very similar. You put them next to each other, they're very similar in size, features, everything. Like, we got a picture of them next to each other, like beautiful bulls. But I was like, there needs to be a buffer. Let's make sure the back is shortened. Let's make sure the muzzle's shortened. Let's tighten the feet. So, yes. And so, man, we stayed on the phone for like four hours that night, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And man, we had talked everything out. I was like, there's one person that we need to talk to. One person and one person only. Antonio McClintock. Like, shout out, like mentor status for sure. Antonio McClintock, I messaged him. I said, this is what we're looking for. I want something inbred. I want something very short muzzle. I want something that throws try, and I want a short back. Man, without hesitation, he sent me pictures of 2 females. I was like, Lord Jesus. So there's Tanner Blankenship right there, man. Shout out to you, man. But so it was like, all right. So we found the dog. So then we started messaging Antonio, like, hey, let's make this happen. Man, within like a month, like, it happened very, very quick. Antonio was bringing her down to us. Like, it happened very quick. And that was one of the stipulations. Like, you bring her to me. Like, we've gone up to you. Like, Antonio, my boy. Like, yes, like, we broke bread up there. We break bread down here. Come to me. And so he brought her here. In the night that he dropped her off, she goes in the heat.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Man,
that.
the night she is dropped off, she goes in the heat. Lord Jesus, thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this.
What a tool she is, man.
Oh, she's a beautiful, beautiful animal. Like, I love me some split, man.
She is a tool, man. She is the definition of a tool. Perfect tool.
And there was such a plan in place. Like, she mends Top Gun and Genesis. She is the one that mends it. So we brought her in, and we made a flyer, like, on our way to,
hold on,
like, Genesis and Top Gun. Like,
Damn, what?
we made that flyer. Like, these are the two breedings that we got her for. This is what we brought her in for because she is the one that mends them. And what do? We had two beautiful litters out. Like, her son and her Genesis son is right here in front of me. Like, I love that boy. Like, we kept two off that litter, and people don't realize that there was a numbers too. Like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. We had a numbers before he passed. Like, that was already on the ground, and he's right here. And that boy right there is Genesis in a black coat. When I say
know. I can't wait
Genesis
to watch
is a
that one.
producer, Lord
Mhm.
Jesus, man. Levi hasn't popped yet, but Genesis outproduced himself with Levi. Levi was the outcross already took place before the breeding took place. Like, Sumo was the product of an outcross. Sumo is Techno's grandson, but he's the product of
How old is Leviticus now?
Leviticus is 15 months.
I think he's going to wind up being bigger than Jen.
He is. He absolutely 100% is.
Yeah.
His head's going to be bigger. He's going to be wider. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought? Like, you know, there's many dogs that are very, very beautiful in by eyesight, but then when it comes to producing, it's like, oh man, you swung and missed. Like, you know what I mean?
Not everyone bats 1,000.
Like Genesis, we bred him to everything for a reason because we saw what he was producing in the females that he produced. Lord Jesus.
Okay, I want to know who you're show training for female, and you're show training who you're training for the show ring right now, male and female, on your yard. Like, what, and if there's more than one that need to be mentioned, then I'd love to hear it. I know you have a bunch of show quality dogs, but which ones are you training to bring out?
All right, so Levi will be coming out. Levi will be coming out very soon. That's Nikai's baby. He is going to champion very, very quickly. Lord, that boy is something. China already started her champion process. China has majored, not just first majored in ABKC and BRC. And that was just at one show each. China is a beast. She is
Beastly. I wouldn't want to get, like, what's her stud fee? You know what I mean? Like, she's that dog where, like, you have to take a second glance and you're like, oh.
Yes. So those two will be next that really, really make a difference in the ring. And then Trinity is Genesis clone. She'll be coming out after them. And then Numbers. I'm working with Numbers. That's going to be my little project.
This one's you. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So right now, really just socializing, sight sounds, trying to leash train, things like that. He's very, very young. What, 3 months, 3.5 months, something like that.
I'd say China is in a realm of a very rare level of masculine female, like on a dream level.
Yeah.
Dream is the manliest,
first grand champion ABKC female.
the manliest masculine bully female XL that I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I think China's in that realm, man. When she's 2.5 years old, full grown, and got that last little width that they get when they're grown, she's gonna be in that category, man. Because she's got it, man. To me, she's hot, man. She's got a super sexy headpiece.
Yes. Lord.
It's
For a female.
it's like, you almost feel
she's
uncomfortable talking about
proportioned
it.
really
Talking
well.
about a dog here. Oh God. Nobody takes it
I
the
love
wrong
her
way.
confidence. I love her proportions.
She owns the ring, man. She owns the ring like her daddy does. Like, he had a presence about him. As soon as he walked in the ring, like, hey, everyone look at me. Like, I dominate. I don't care how big the dogs are. I don't care how many dogs. Like, I'm going to dominate the ring. And she carries that same confidence. Yeah, Adam, mitochondrial DNA, absolutely. And she is very line bred. She is 3 times King Kong. Like, her granddad is King Kong 3 times. She's actually her mom is a Shockwave daughter, so we brought her in for that girth, for that outcross.
You got it.
Techno lines is our base, but we know that it's line bred so much that we have to add something.
Got to.
And we want to fix and we want to add what we want to add to make it our own and really create something different. And it's crazy because I love techno lines. I absolutely love techno lines. Going there, like you see such a consistent line, like shout out to Corey. Man, Corey he's taught us a lot. Corey and Antonio McClenny, like those two really, I've learned probably more of dogs, like really, really dog talk from those two. And that's, personal conversations, like long, in-depth, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And you better be ready to go to bat when you talk to them, because they're gonna come at you like, why the hell would you why the hell would you do that breeding? And you're like,
So we're
it's like, damn, now I'm afraid to even like, I don't know.
I get calls from him. He's just like, okay, here's what I'm thinking. I talked to so and so, and I need a second opinion. And it's just like, that's something that I found very, very fascinating about the way you do things. Is you, like the conversations that we would have, you would be talking about a breeding in advance. Like you're building this dog to breed to that dog off of that litter that you have planned coming up, that you're making this dog for. It is a game of chess. Like you're playing the long game. And it was just one of those things where even after every conversation we have, you have put so many pieces on this chessboard that I have a hard time following it sometimes. Like I have to actually ask you, be like, okay, wait a minute. Which litter was this one off of? Was it Jen in this one or Jen in that one? Or was it, so it's just a matter of like, and then, okay, wait, that female was off of who and who again? And it's just like, because you have all these pieces moving almost simultaneously. And that is just what's so wild. Like how many times would you say you literally, other than right now, how many times can you say that you've had a litter on the ground without overlapping it with another?
The last couple of years, 3 years, I don't know. It's tough because obviously females are going to sink and heats are going to sink. And then, there's breedings that have already lined up. So there's most of the time overlapping litters. Absolutely. This right now, it's kind of a nice break. It's kind of nice that we can, shout out again, my wife, Nakia Weddle, that she can put all of her attention on this. And Lord, this litter, we're keeping 4.
I was about to say, that's my next question. Was how are you keeping all of them? I know that female ain't going nowhere.
There was 12, bro.
Yeah.
You can get one, absolutely.
That female ain't going nowhere. That tan female, no, she's sticking. They're keeping the fawn female. She ain't going nowhere.
3 females that are going to stay here. There's going to be 1 male, and we're probably going to co-own 2 males. That's how this litter hits.
I know when I seen the puppies, I told my wife, I said, well, there ain't no need of asking about price on that light colored female.
Immediately. It's like, nobody asked. Yeah. Nobody asked. It's not going to happen. Keep on dreaming.
As soon as I pulled that blanket back at the vet, I said, oh, Lord, there's 1 fawn. There's 1 fawn. Oh, she's staying right here.
I told you.
And she just happened to be the biggest female from day 1.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not lost. Yeah, she's not really lost. She was. She truly was. For us to get confirmation on the day passed, and then for that 1 fawn to seep through this litter, man, beautiful. It's beautiful. Like we're going to honor him. We're going to make sure that we continue to honor him, and his productions are going to be honored. Man, he changed us. He changed the whole program. And this has been a rough year. Like we don't put a lot of negative things on Facebook. We started off with a lot of breedings. Man, they all took. It started off very good. But we also lost Kane this year.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yes, we don't put a lot of things that are, because man, there's so many negative things taking place in the world. Like we just want to be a positive influence on the bully world, positive influence on whoever's going through something, and that's what we stand on. And we truly try to stand on something. We do this as a family. And I wish my wife would come on live I've been
I
trying to
want
get her
her
to
to
come
go
on for
on here
2
so
years
bad.
as the guest.
I will hold off.
2 years,
I will
baby.
walk
Listen
away
to
for,
me.
for a week or two or however many she wants. If she wants to come here, just I will disappear if that gets her on here. I love that woman hard. I love that
Yes.
woman.
I would too.
But no, and I say that because she deserves it. Because again, she is
Oh,
the face of our program, and Lord Jesus. Because imagine this is the face.
that's fair.
Oh man, but no,
Uh,
she does this full time, and we have grown to love this. And the girls with their input and their whelping and them in the ring with them and
Love that.
everything, it's so different. Like we're not going anywhere at all. A lot of people thought with Genesis passing, like again, Genesis set us up for
Mm-hmm.
future success on top of future success, and it's a snowball effect. And this year we're going to see a lot of breedings we've built up to. So stay tuned, because by the middle of the year, y'all see a lot of a game plan that we've really put in place, and everything is strategic. Everything is
I know
very, very thought out.
Nakaya has always been good with the pictures since I've known y'all, which has been a little longer. I was looking back; it's been a little longer than I thought. Um, but in the man, like she's really amped her game up.
Oh, those videos that she gets. I mean, man, I mean, she's evolving,
They,
and I just
she
absolutely
she
flipping
really
love it.
is.
Like she made one of my favorite videos of Adonis. And I can't remember which show it was at. I want to say it was the one we went to in
It was in Athens.
South. It was in South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
Oh, I can't remember. It's the one it's where Clemson's at. Like it's like right there. It's like right on the
Pendleton,
border of South. Huh?
Pendleton, South
Pendleton.
Carolina.
So we went there, and I mean, she was sneaking shots. She was sneaking videos, sneaking shots. And she found out that, like, we call him the subwoofer because of his rear end. And so she made a video with Mount Westmore's big subwoofer in the background, and she just put a bunch of clips together and sent it to me. And it was just it was just such a wonderful thing to just do. And yeah, so and then watching the videos that she's making now, especially with your daughter playing football. Oh, man. That was a good
I
one.
like
That
the
was a
horse
good one.
videos too, bro.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. She's different. Like she understands it. She's self-taught, and she understands, like, man, the content she puts out, it's amazing. In Pendleton, Nakaya, grand champion Genesis there in ICBR, and she was
I'm
the
so
handler
proud.
from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
And hey, in BRC, Genesis is still number 2 in the
Yep.
current year-to-date
Mm-hmm.
rankings for Excel and BRC. Like when I saw that when he was passed, I was like whoever passed him, like, man, I am so proud of you, but damn it, damn it.
Damn it. But
Oh, because that, like, man, it was just like he deserves. He deserves so much, man. He did so much while he was here, and I'm not saying that whoever passed them, please, like, man, you do your thing. Like,
mm-hmm.
seriously, I'm just saying he's so deserving of more than what he did while he was here, because he lived 3 lives, but he was on the verge of his 4th life while he was here. Like, he took us so many places. He did so many things in that short span that he was here. It's remarkable.
I know
But
if
yeah,
we don't start answering some of Adam's questions, I just don't know if he's
He's
going to be able to contain himself.
yeah. He wanted to know about groomers. Do you guys groom the dogs yourself? We gotta have to ask some questions, otherwise he's gonna keep coming with them, and he should, because that's what we're here for.
yeah,
He's
absolutely.
reminding us of that. This is our job.
He wants to know
Yes.
about groomers, and he wants to know about favorite colors, even though we don't breed for color.
Favorite color? Oh, that brindle,
Oh,
baby. That
oh,
brindle. It does something
really?
to me.
Light or
It
dark?
does something to me.
You
Does
like
it?
the blue? You like the
It gives
blue
you the
brindle?
tingles. It gives you the
Oh,
tingles, baby.
that blue brindle. Like, I love mulatto. She's black.
Blue.
She's black brindle, but that blue brindle, it's like Levi's color. Oh my gosh, it's
That's a
Mulatto's
good one.
mulatto's like a ghost brindle,
yeah,
and
yeah. She got like a ghost
Levi's
undercoat.
like a blue brindle. Um, the brindle's nice, man. I like it. I think
I like.
I really like the brindle. I like that cocoa too myself.
Oh yeah.
Me personally, I've always been, even before I had dogs, I've always been really fond of that Isabella, which people call lilac.
It's
Yeah.
well, it's a lilac. There's like three different
There,
tiers. There's like three
there
different
is.
tiers of
The,
freaking like
I like
lilac, but Isabella
I
is like
like
the lightest of the light.
Isabella is like that champagne.
Mm.
You know, it's
Like
uh,
borderline, it's almost a cream with a hue of purple.
Yeah.
It's the
Uh-huh.
it
weirdest
is.
sitting color. It's
And
just
I'm
because yeah,
not just saying that because that's the color that Pressure is, but that color that he is, I really love it.
it's a good looking
Uh,
dog.
his color, man, that's probably my favorite color, and I really like the lilac tries.
Mm,
Uh,
mhm, mhm.
I like the tries. Um, yeah, yeah, but I like that champagne, man. I like that little hue of purple and that really light Isabella, that really light lilac's probably my favorite of all the colors. I think it's got a sheen that highlights the
It don't
shadows,
make no
and it's
sense. It don't make no sense. It's purple. It's
it it is. It's kind of majestic, man.
purple.
I'd have to say those are my three. And I like the Brindle too myself.
Mhm. I
Um,
like Trindle. I don't know what it is about a black Trindle.
the
I
Trindle,
I've
yeah.
like
I like
now I will say
it.
ever since I've had a thing for lilac and then I love black dogs.
I have to say that Red Sable, man.
Woo, that's what I was getting to. Was like ever since having Helios, like I am absolutely enamored of a nice red sable.
I
I think
never seen
Nikki Lynn actually
I
has
never seen a
Denzo,
Red
Grand
Sable as
Champion
pretty as
Denzo.
him.
Whoo, huh?
I never seen a Red Sable as pretty as him. His
Don't make no sense.
it's not like it's not like a brown. It's not like a
No, it's
rust.
red. Yeah,
It's like a really rich
yeah,
tone. His tone of him
yeah.
particularly is that's an exceptional color,
Well,
man.
and
I'd
I
love to
showed you the
incorporate that
picture.
color. If I was picking for colors in my yard, I'd love to have that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, well, he's open for business.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, yeah, he comes by that. Honestly, there are so many people, so many dogs on both sides of his pedigree,
His
mostly
pedigree.
his mother's. But on both sides of his mom, they have these beautiful red sables, and it is just so strong. Like he looks like his great grandparents on both sides of his mother's pedigree. It makes no
What
sense how
line
this
does
is
that
so
come
strong.
from? That Red Sable.
So I know it came off of there's Dima. Actually, he's been a guest of ours. His female Bella is his great grandmother. She's the mother of Grand Champion Slim Shady. And then on the other side of his pedigree, it's Grand Champion George Hamilton, which is I want to say he's not structure lines, is it? Yeah, he's structure lines. And then Bella was bred to Bistro to produce Slim Shady. So he's got both Bistro and structure line.
So he's
But that
got that red
the
on
red
both
table comes from
sides.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
Mike,
nuts.
man, you said something that I liked a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago, actually. You said you don't pick for color. A lot of people out there miss they pick because of color. They
I'm
pick
telling
the
you.
wrong dog
Lord
because of color.
Jesus, so off.
If you
Always. I,
it's an easy way to get tripped up, man.
I
Because you
said, hey, I'm at fault with that too. I'm at fault with
yeah.
that too.
It's
Hey,
hard not to
you
do
got
it,
to,
man.
man, I'm telling you,
It's
you got
hard,
to,
I
man.
love the color
man,
so much.
But
man.
boy, when that color goes your way, there ain't a feeling like that. I can guarantee
Oh
you.
Teddy,
yeah,
thank you,
oh yeah.
Lord.
Caleb got so
Hey,
that just
Caleb,
fell. It
look,
just fell just
did
right
you
on you
did,
this time,
did you
brother.
Man,
did you pick? Look, did you pick for color when you picked Teddy?
man, Teddy was he was the biggest, baddest. It was just
So
everything. Like it was.
okay,
It's
so he
beautiful.
was just the big.
It's
So you
beautiful.
actually went off
No,
the
he
size
he
of the
was he
pup.
was the most bone, the shortest back, the
Okay,
widest muzzle, the best
okay,
color. Like Teddy's the
Yeah.
reason why we did the breeding.
Yeah.
okay.
It was he knew very, very early on that it was going to be Teddy out
Yeah,
of that entire litter. I
yeah,
mean,
So
like
so
24 hours in.
So
Yeah.
look, let me,
4
let me
hours.
let me ask you this. I want you to be honest. I want
Yeah.
you to be honest with me. All right. Okay. Teddy is a chocolate try, right?
Yep.
Okay. If you had another dog in the same litter that was just chocolate, or either brown maybe, and he was boned up just like Teddy, and Teddy was the opposite, would you still would have grabbed Teddy because he's a chocolate try? Be honest now. Be honest. I want to know your honest
I
opinion.
would own one and co-own one. I would not let either one go. Like
That's fair.
That's
like there's so many
fair.
co-own. So what I would keep on the yard is depending on what I did the breeding for.
You
And
really
that's
you But look, you really went around my question I asked you.
I would
He's
keep them both.
dancing, baby. He's dancing around and he's dancing.
I don't. That's tough,
Dancing.
Bruce. That's tough. Like we have never ever based our picks off color. Like color is that it's the icing on the cake. Like
Right.
obviously, color is looked at. It's eye catching.
But it's hard to let go of a chocolate try.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
it is.
It's hard.
But
If
depending
you got the chance to incorporate that, it'd be hard to let go of that. That's what
depending
Bruce
on
is
the
getting at.
differences between the two, like how severe the differences are, is really going to dictate our pick. Like I'm not going to sit there and pick a chocolate try if it's the smallest. Like if it's
Right.
Oh, of
if
course
it's
not.
yeah. But if it
Yeah.
was very neck and neck, yeah, the color will it play a part? It depends. It depends on the differences,
Depends
but
on
yes,
how
it will play a part.
neck and neck they are.
Yeah, exactly. Like how
Yeah.
close is that?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
I
if
mean,
I'm looking at dogs, if I had a lilac try and I'm wanting a breeder, I mean, I'm gonna scout around for a lilac try first. If I can find the one I'm looking for and have a full lilac try litter, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
if I found what I was looking for that wasn't a lilac try, then it is what it is.
Yeah. Joseph, I like what he put.
Mhm.
So I appreciate the honesty too.
Yeah,
I picked my female strictly off
of
color
course.
and ended up
Yeah.
great for me, but won't do that again. When people ask about puppy picking, like the way that we pick our puppies, what did we do the breeding for?
Yes,
What are
absolutely.
we trying to get out of it?
Yeah.
Because people talk about all the time when they talk about breeding pairings, Pheno and Geno. Like, let's
Mhm.
dive into this. When people talk about Pheno and Geno, I'm just like, why is that a debate? Why is it never both?
Yeah.
Always both.
it's
It's
always
Always
like
both.
both.
But
I
a lot
feel
of
like I just went
people
to
sit there
bat
and
for
talk
this in
about
somebody
it,
else's
but they
comment
don't
thread like a
line
week ago.
breeds
I was just like,
up.
oh.
The Geno should be bred so well that Pheno should show what the Geno
Mhm.
is. The dog
Yep.
makes
Should
the pedigree.
explain it all.
The
Mm-hmm.
pedigree does not ever make
Mhm.
the dog.
I don't
The dog
I don't
Right.
think
makes the pedigree.
if somebody thinks that Gino and Fino are some kind of opposition with each other, I don't think they really understand it because like basically the best way to describe it is for anybody that doesn't know what phenotypical and genotype is, it's the phenotype is what you see when you look at the dog, and the genotype is what you can't see.
Yeah, it's in the pedigree.
So, well, it's in the genes, it's in the pedigree, it's all the stuff
Yeah.
that would show up in a test, embark test. It's in the pedigree, it's all that. So, you got to have both. You got to factor in both.
Mm-hmm.
And
You can't leave either one out. You can do a lot better if you factor
and
them both in for
it
sure.
sounds like common sense what we're talking about, but there's so many breedings that take place, and they're like, this is because it's the Geno. This because these pairings
I
line
like the
up.
way the stuff looks. And I want my breeding to produce bigger heads or cleaner feet or whatever. And then they're not taking the background into account. They're not looking at what those parents of this particular stud have produced in the back, So it's just, yeah, you've got to take both into account because
And
otherwise you're going to end
sometimes
up with
those
some
scatterbred
weirdness.
dogs,
That's so
they will
cute.
produce something that's good, but that's an anomaly.
Mhm.
If the Geno's not behind it, even though the Pheno's in front of you, they're not going to produce it.
Yeah.
You've got to look further in. Look at the litter mates.
Well, what
Look at the
happens if you
productions. Look at
don't?
the parents.
What happens if you don't do that? Is you wind up being blindsided by what's called hybrid vigor.
Going in blind.
And a hybrid vigor is a blossom. It's a bloom of a result that you would want to incorporate when you see it immediately, like, oh man, this dude right here's got it all, blah blah blah. But by not checking into both sides of it, you wouldn't know that, you know, this dog is exceptional, but you'll never get a clone out of it.
Never.
Yeah.
because
Ever.
Nope.
because he'll never be able to recreate himself, because he is a result of hybrid vigor.
Exactly. Why does
And there's a
Genesis?
lot of big poster dogs that got big names in this community that
Yes.
you'll never see a clone off of.
Never. Genesis, going back to him one last time. Why was he producing the way he was? Because the way he was bred.
Yep.
The
That's right.
pheno matches the geno matches the pheno, and he produced it.
That's
He stamped
right.
every litter. And it's one of those things where, like, there are times when, I mean, now, while you have to, you know, like, you have to post, look at this production, like, the moment I see the picture, I'm like, holy cow, yeah, that's definitely a Genesis, you know, production. Because it's the eye set, it's the head, it's
It's a
you know,
look,
the
yeah.
frontalis, it's all of it. So it's just one of those things where he does stamp his litter, and there's a couple of them that have a shoulder set that is so similar that I cannot wait until they broaden out, because holy crap. I mean, that Genesis, like, he first of all, your whole, you know, we'll go back to Genesis one last time. Stop it. Flowers.
Yeah.
Flowers.
Yeah, we
Took
ain't
the
done with
horn.
Genesis
The
yet.
horn
We
sounds
ain't done
beautiful.
with. Hey, you know
Yeah.
what? I said this before. We always gonna have conversation about Genesis.
Yeah.
Always. It's
Always. That's
never
always going
gonna
to come
die.
up in
It's
conversation
Oh
a
never
yeah.
lot.
gonna die.
No.
Never.
And people
Yeah.
were like tiptoeing around us, and I'm just like, I appreciate the respect and the outpour from the community. I really do. But don't ever feel like you're walking on our toes or anything like that. Like, we want Genesis' name to be mentioned. We want him because he deserves that. He did his thing and he deserves that. So don't ever feel like I'm not gonna mention. No. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like, no, don't ever feel like we're talking too much about him, because I mean, I feel like his impact hasn't even been felt yet. It's like that drop in the water that's going to cause an avalanche later, or not an avalanche, but like a tidal wave later. It's just like he has this look about him, and you know, it's like, obviously you have been making like little tiny like additives here and there, you know, selective breeding. You've been very strategic, which has been phenomenal to watch. But like, the parts of him that didn't need to change because they were already on point, they were, you know, beautifully sculpted. He had this beautiful shoulder set, he had beautiful feet, and he had this massive, very, very well proportioned head and muzzle.
Yes.
And it's just one of those things where, like, all the other things that you've been building on obviously are working, just so you're aware. But he, like, watching that dog produce what he's produced and seeing your vision literally in real time, I mean, you've been doing it right. You guys have been killing the game with this, and you know, Genesis is going to be that crux. I feel like for the XL community, I feel like he is going to be the crux that people really need to focus on, because what he's produced, I feel like it's going to be a gift to the
I
community. And I
think it is
really
a
wish more
pillar.
people knew. I wish more people knew.
I saw a picture of him, another one of his daughters yesterday, and I haven't
Oh,
seen
my
her.
kid,
I
you
was
need to
like,
send me that.
oh my gosh, Lord
He
Jesus! And there's
produces
one
some
that got away. There's
really
one
bad gifts.
Genesis son that's out there, and anyone that's watching, I think he's located in Arkansas. That's the one that we were naming G2. Lord, I want hands on this dog. That boy right there was different.
I'm in Arkansas, baby. Put me on them.
Man, hey, put me on him. You find him.
Hey,
him.
hey, look. I wanna reach back for a second. Mike, what is it called when a dog can't produce itself? What is it called?
Well, what it is, when a dog has hybrid vigor, that hybrid
Hybrid
vigor,
vigor.
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
like
it's
when
very
components
difficult on
come
people.
together and bloom into a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
And so you think you have this gem, but when it's when it's hybrid vigor, it'll never produce itself. It'll never
Hey, look,
clone.
Yeah, and if
the
it
reason I bought
does,
this
it'll be
up,
one
the
anomaly,
reason
one pup
the
out of
reason I
litter.
bought this up because I done seen some hybrid vigor dogs in my line in my life.
Yeah.
And you know what? They still made money off of that dog. You know why? Because of who had them, who was in control of that breeding, and never produced itself.
You still see
So,
it today.
so
The
look,
same
that's why
thing.
we have this live right here.
Yes.
Do your research. Don't get caught up in the hype. A lot of people get caught up in the hype.
Some of
Oh
these type
Lord,
dogs, they don't produce. They don't produce
they don't
themselves. Now
produce.
there are a few that do, Bruce.
I'll,
There are,
hey,
but
Yes,
like and you
hey,
and
I'm
you
gonna
yes,
take it
it
a step
is.
know,
further for you,
It
Bruce.
is.
I'm gonna take it a step further. If these a lot of these people are holding on to these dogs with hybrid vigor because they don't want you to have what they got. They don't want to sell puppies that throw a look.
Mm.
They
they're
want you to
keeping them
get. They
like
want
Caleb.
everybody to keep taking
They're
shots
keeping them
at it,
all.
but never sell it.
They're all
No soup for you.
No super.
No
Man,
soup for you.
Yeah.
look, I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna call no name, but I got a
Well, I don't
friend.
know how you're not, because it's all on the tip of our tongue.
Look,
I tell you right now.
I no, no, I'm going another direction.
All
I
right,
just want to
all
I
right.
just want to say this. I know a friend. I got a friend, and he bought this dog, and it came from a well-known breeder. A
Mhm.
well-known breeder. All right. So he gets this dog, right? He said, man, he gave it to me like high price. I mean, a good deal and everything, right? I said, what's the deal? Well, what was the price? He told me I don't want to say that either. But anyway, but look, but
Hey, no
look, the
secrets.
dog, I said, man, I know my dogs ain't perfect by all means, but this dog had a high rear, right? This dog had a high
Oh,
rear, and it was really noticeable.
bummer.
All right. So he done bred that dog twice. Two different litters of pup. I ain't gonna say how many times he bred the dog, because y'all might figure that out.
Twice.
He might have bred, but look,
Bruce, you're killing me. You're
every
killing me,
puppy,
Smalls. You're killing me.
just about every puppy that come off of that dog have a slight high rear.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
I
how
wonder
genetics
why.
works.
A slight high that dog is carrying
Genetics are
that
a hell of
gene.
a drug.
Yeah.
And that's
Hmm.
probably why they got rid of that dog. But see, that's what I'm saying. You got to
Hmm.
see what you dealing with, man. I mean, hey,
I'm willing
don't
to
let
bet
the
that the dogs in that dog's pedigree also had high rears, and we're ignoring it.
Hey,
You
production
gotta know
speak
how to
louder than
compensate.
anything else.
What, Caleb?
Production speak louder than anything else.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. You gotta know how to compensate, man.
Yeah.
Here's a good example. Ideally you would look for a square in the front stack, right?
Oh yeah.
But if this is just a good example for people to read, if you have a rectangle that's vertical, that's longer than it is wide, right?
Go shorter.
Because the dog's taller, then you need a dog that's wider than it is tall to bring
Rectangle this way.
it back to bring it. So you need a rectangle this way instead of this way. So goes with this
Yeah,
to
there
make a
you go.
square. To make a square.
Exactly.
Uh,
Don't be
Baby.
afraid to go to standard dogs if you're an XL breeder.
Oh my
Lord
God. Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
This year,
Absolutely. And
watch what we do with these. Ooh, watch what we
mhm. When you
do.
Hey,
brought
look,
Split
look,
in, when you brought
hey,
Split in, that was the moment where all the times that all four of us have talked about getting the XLs back to because again, the breed standard says it's the XL, breed standard is the standard, only taller, right? That's it, right? It's the only
The
caveats. It's the
only
only difference.
difference.
Just taller,
Yep.
right? Everything else, proportion wise, it grows with the height, right? So it's still same expectations. The expectations. So eventually, like you get these, taller, lankier, a little bit less mass, because again, you're breeding with mastiffs, what you expect. So, we've always talked about bringing standards back into that blood, re-implementing it to bring them closer to their respective breed standard, like they're supposed to be, right? And when you brought in Split, I remember thinking, well, he's walking the walk, because we've been talking about it for years. But when you brought in Split to implement into your program, it was like you were officially walking the walk. And I loved that. I was like, yes.
No,
Now, because
don't
now
think
we're going to be able
we
to
don't know
put
you're
those
tying
productions
teddy
out
bear.
there and be like, Steve told you.
And it produced an XL, a
Hey,
beautiful.
Don't
And they
think
were
we
look,
don't
like
know you're tying
beautiful.
teddy
hey,
bear back into techno lines, man. Don't think we don't know
I'm gonna
that.
tell
Okay.
y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. All right, I didn't have really a purpose, with these big dogs. I just like XLs, right? So
You do like
I
the
just
most.
knew I wanted to keep them athletic and I wanted to keep them clean. But now, getting back in the box with you guys to compete with you guys, I said this when y'all interviewed me the other week. I got to go, and I got this mail over here right now. I just bought. It should be here tomorrow. Uh, Measuring stick. I bought a measuring stick because
You bought the wicket. You bought the
if
wicket.
this dog, a wicked, that's right. If
Uh-huh.
this
Not a
dog,
wicket, the measuring stick,
he's
Amanda.
might he might be 18 inches. I don't know just yet. He's close. I don't know if he's XL, but he's close. But to compete in this industry, you got to chop them legs down, and you got to figure out what standard that you want to go to, not just any standard. Pick something that pheno, you know what I'm saying, plus pedigree. So all that's got to go together. See what he come off of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to get that height down. And
Man, I
that's the
love you
only
guys,
way
man.
I'm going to get it down. That's the only way. I can't keep breeding tall dogs thinking I'm going to get a 20-inch dog.
There we
I can't.
go.
Y'all know how to
I
get
can't.
Again,
my blood
realistic
pressure up, don't you?
expectations.
Yes. Find out what you
Hey,
want to go to.
but
Find out the ideal dog and go after
I'm
it.
going to show y'all
Bruce,
from my breeding experience that I can do this with the blood that I got, and I still can compete.
I know you can. Do it,
Bruce,
Look,
Bruce.
you
Bruce,
know
you
we're
be
going
getting my blood
to
pressure up, man.
bring it.
This is what gets my blood pressure going. I don't know if y'all can see how red my face is right now. I tell you, I get so fired up.
Everything's
Look,
red.
listen, man.
Everything's
When I
red.
Wipe me
That
talk
is
down.
about
red is my
the
wine right now.
IGF-1, right? When I talk about the IGF-1, which is the body type in the embark, right? You have the three different body type sizes, the II, the NI, and the NN, right?
Yeah.
This is where the power of the IGF-1 is at. This is why it benefits to know about this stuff. Okay? Because if you have a female uh that has that NN, an XL female that is an NN in the IGF-1, she has the genetic trait that she can pull in, especially if she's got a low COI, which means the male that goes into her is likely
To yeah.
to show himself in the litter more
Mhm.
than her quite a bit, and dominate the litter. Now, if he's a standard and
It's
he's
gonna go.
got all this breed type and he's shorter, whenever he goes into this NN XL female, she's
Mhm.
gonna bring his breed type up to the XL
Yes.
class.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's how that happened. And the same way the opposite.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can if you've got dogs that are a little too short, and trying to add some height, you can add it the other way around. And
Absolutely.
but I think that is the key to bringing this breed type up to XLs, because we're learning more about the fact that the NN is a trait that really it comes from the Mastiff influence. So the classes of bullies that don't have the Mastiff influence, you're not going to find NN dogs unless somebody's already been doing
That's right.
like I'm talking about and
Yep.
bouncing it around.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
Yep.
you got me on that NN and be big and CC, but I don't know all that. But look,
I got you.
I'm a breed motor scooter boy.
I got you. I got you.
You got me. You got me.
Bruce, my boy.
Huh?
Oh, Bruce, I
Y'all.
love you, man.
Bruce,
Hey,
the
Oh,
Embark
but no,
test, if you got a female you're thinking about putting him into,
what the short dog I got?
you got an XL female you're thinking about for that boy, that 18-inch boy, that one you sent me pictures of?
Man, you late, bro. I already did it. I told you I'm already on the prowl, bro.
Oh, man,
I'm
I'm late.
proud.
I'm late.
Hey, look.
Proud. Wow.
Oh, Bruce don't play.
20 minutes
Hey,
is like
man, hey,
called that.
look,
The
hey,
prowl. Nice. Okay.
y'all ought to know me by now, man. I'm kind of like I work in private. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
do
just
work
all of
in
a sudden I just bust out.
Yeah.
I just bust
That's
out.
it.
Look,
Lord.
Just randomly start showing up to shows. Like we've
you
been
would
talking
think
to
a
him
big
for a
old dude
while
like
about it,
that
and all
could
of a sudden
move
he just
like a
pops up
ninja.
at Cinco. We're like, oh hi, oh god.
How does a big
So yeah,
old
he does move in
dude like that move
silence.
like a ninja?
He does.
A what?
I love when he
Moves like
pops
a
up. We're
big
like,
old
oh,
ninja.
Bruce.
Just
Yes,
slide.
Hey, I
AJ said
move
he's been
quietly,
Dip
advocating
man.
it
for
in.
years. Yes, a line bred female that's got XL height
Mhm.
to a line bred standard male, in my eyes, is magical.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
Oh
know
yeah.
the traits you're getting from both.
That's right.
You're going to have the legs from the female, the mitochondrial DNA. She's going to dominate it, especially if she's a line bred female. To a line bred stud, you know what you're going to bring in. It's especially if you research the genealogy of them. Like, a lot of them trace back to the same dogs. Like, really research and pair these breedings up.
Mhm.
It's not rocket
It
science.
does,
Like, I look at a lot of these breedings.
but you're raising if you do exactly that and then add in a low COI on the female and a high COI on the male, preferably 3 times her COI, and then if she happens to be an NN, you're guaranteed you're gonna go. You're gonna be. I mean, anything can happen with genetics, but you're highly probable
Right.
that it definitely twice as probable than without
Mhm.
it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be able to
exactly. The
get
percentages are swayed your side. Absolutely.
even more
Oh,
so. Yes, sir.
yeah. The odds are better in your favor with that
And that's
information in
all
hand. Obviously,
we
there's
can
still
do.
like there's a couple things that like recessive things are just weird and they're unpredictable and that's going to happen. But again, just
That's right.
Michael has talked about this, and his reference of it being a flashlight in the dark is 100%. I mean, it literally is. But I mean, obviously, there's some recessive stuff that you can't predict, but for the most part, yeah, having that knowledge in hand is so helpful when you're trying to create these pairings and trying to make sure that, what you're taking from each, parent is more likely to happen due to their COI.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And looking at just the pedigree without knowing the COI, the more line bred, like these
Mm-hmm.
scatterbred dogs are not going to form the same dog they are. There's no way. It's a 1 in 100 chance, if even.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You said something then, Amanda, about the recessives. That's another interesting point. We'll get back on Caleb right here, but um, you so there's dominant traits and recessive traits, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a combination of recessive traits that are stronger than a dominant trait.
Yes.
If you take a double recessive on the mom, recessive on the dad on the same trait, that puppy will have what's called a double recessive trait in that gene, and it's, I think they call it double recessive dominant, and if and it and if and it will trump just a flat out dominant trait.
Yeah.
It will
Done.
it, it will it's more powerful and will push through above just a what you would call a dominant trait. A
Just
do-
like that one pup out of the litter that's magically one color, or it's just magically bigger or
Yeah.
smaller than the others, or just it's shaped like it's just one of those things where it's like, where the did this come from? And that's where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recessive things.
Dominant recessive. That's right, Adam.
Dominant recessive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That stuff pops out and it's
The,
like,
the,
oh, there's
the
something just
dominant the dominant recessive is what it's called, but it
yeah.
comes from doubling up on that
Yeah.
recessive
Mm-hmm.
gene. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Caleb. Uh, are we ever going to be able to get Nakaya on here? Will she do it? Can it be done?
That is a question I can't answer, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a question I can't answer. But hey, I would like to do something real quick. It's getting about the 1.5 hour time frame. I would like to go down this time travel of this last 2 years.
Let's do it.
And I would like to tell a little something about each individual on here. So
Oh God.
Bruce, my boy, me and you started this thing. Man, 2 years ago, you were the first guest. And Bruce, Lord Jesus, I'm going to give each and every one of you your flowers. Bruce, you have been there for me from every single thing, from personal to dogs to the conversations that we have done, man, you know, what understood doesn't got to be explained. Like, man, when I say big unk, you already know how that is. Like, man, you were with me in times that I needed you, and I will never ever forget those times. Amanda, we took a turn when you joined the live. I remember a very, very vivid conversation between us. It was text messages, and I still got them on my phone. And you know where I'm going with this. You were at a bar. She was, and we were talking, and she messaged me and said, because during the transition when Amanda took over, and we called it a trial, but from day one, we already knew. Me and Bruce talked about it, that she was
I
going to
thought it
be
was
the
a
permanent.
trial. I thought it was a trial, just so everyone knows. I thought
Yes,
it was
That's
a
what you
trial.
thought.
but she
That's what
messaged
you
me
thought.
and said, hey, I see that the viewers are down, things like that. It's like, I want what's best for the live, and I am willing to walk away from it. And I remember who was coming on, and he was trying to come back as like trying to get more into podcast. And you're like, hey, if this hits, have him as the permanent.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, this was not a mistake, you coming on here, and like, we stand for something. And I don't know if the terminology came that night, but it was reach one, teach one. Or like, if one person watches this live and gets something from it,
Mhm.
we have succeeded.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
one
that's right.
person does, and I told her, I said, Amanda, this was not, again, a mistake. Like, you are permanent and you are not going anywhere. Like, this is what it is. And I remember her messaging me. She's like, now I'm at the end of the bar, ugly crying. And I'm like, I'm at a birthday. I was like, get off this phone, go do what you need to do. But Amanda, like, from that conversation, you literally turned into an animal, that you just started getting people locked in left and right, reaching out to everyone, and you really blossomed into your own person on this live. And I remember talking to you, and we're like, all right, so both of us are talkers. Both of us are talkers. Like, how are we going to do this?
Yes.
Because before, like, I was the main person,
Yeah.
and then, you know, Peyton and Bruce would, you know, kind of go off
Mhm.
it. And I was like, with us, like, you are the main interviewer. Like, you take that, you run point guard, I'll run
That's
shooting
right.
guard, and Bruce is the center. When Bruce talks, he dominates because people
Oh,
listen.
absolutely.
He
Oh,
makes an
yeah. We love
impact.
him for stuff.
And
Oh, yeah.
then
Oh, yeah.
comes Michael, the small forward, where we just have this wingman where we can just constantly call on. And it's become this amazing,
Oh, I like that.
amazing team.
I like the
Michael has
term
come for
power forward.
me. Yeah, power forward. My bad,
That's,
man. My bad.
no, that's good. That's,
He don't
yep.
like to be called small.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey,
my
I'm
bad, my bad.
250 pounds. I shouldn't be small. Ain't nothing small about me.
Yeah, power forward. But Michael was there for me. Like,
Oh
man,
God.
the conversations that we've had, and, you know, right after Genesis passed, I was actually scheduled for two lives. And calling him in the year that he's had a lot of trials, and, man, the overcoming of that family, the Higgason family, Lord Jesus, respect. And for him to answer every time we called, every single time we called, these three people on this live, I could not be more blessed to call y'all as friends that became family. And that's what it is. Like, in our group message, which, Michael, we still gotta add you, man. But in our group
Yeah.
message, like, it is so fun because we're just constantly, like, we talk junk, but we're there for each other in the moments
Yeah.
that we really need each other. And it's just such an amazing team. Like, the four of us from different parts of the world, from different backgrounds, different upbringing, for us to all four come together and all have different mindsets on things, but for us to come together every single Tuesday and to bring something, and we stand on one thing and one thing only, is if we reach one person and we teach one person, then we succeeded. And I hope tonight, I hope I did, like, you know, it's more of an interview, just kind of looking into our program, things like that. But every single time we try to bring a lot of positivity. You know, we try to bring some knowledge. The people that we're bringing on, their knowledge, but they're positive. We're not going to bring someone on that's going to really come in here and really trying to ruffle feathers, because there's too much of that. There's too much of that
Yes.
in the world. There's too much of that in the bully world.
Yeah.
Like, let's come on with positivity and let's really talk some dog and let's keep it about the dogs. But I want to make sure I got every one of you your flowers before we get off here,
I
because y'all
appreciate
deserve
that,
it. And
Caleb.
that's the one time that I really get to speak. Like, and it's an amazing, amazing team. And thank y'all for what y'all do. Seriously, I love what we do.
Thank
Oh,
you,
I'm honored
man.
to be part of it.
We love having you on the team too.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You know, you're also a wonderful contribution to this,
Oh,
and if in the backbone of this thing, man. And we're you know, we're all grateful to have you too. I'll tell you, I was just thinking about this while you were saying that. One of the most underrated things I think about this live, you know, you talk about reaching one and teaching one, and bringing all these different guests and all this stuff and bringing the positivity. I think something it does that we don't ever touch on is it's showing people that are tuned in that there's actually a lot of good people in this community.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
There's a
Sure.
lot of people that care about the betterment of this breed. There's a lot of people that are digging into the cracks, man, digging into the research, digging into these pedigrees, digging into building programs. They're trying to learn how to do it right, you know. And I think the full spectrum that we have between us here, for somebody that's at that place in their journey, I think it's very helpful, man. And I think, you know, they can look guest after guest, week after week. They can see, like, hey, this is a thing, man. You know, this bully community. This is not a bunch of scam artists trying to glorify some uh you know, terrible looking dog and just to make money and then disappear. This is a family. This is inspiring. This is the best of human nature. This is a big deal, and
Yeah.
I think this for the bully world. I think this is a great example of that, man. And y'all have done long before I got here, man. Y'all have brought that to the table. I think that's huge. And it's never talked about, but huge that people can look in week after week and see example after example of the positive parts of the bully community, man. Big deal.
Oh,
And I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
absolutely.
it. And seeing
Absolutely.
y'all on
Yeah.
other lives,
Mm.
seeing y'all as guests on other lives, like
Yes.
Amanda was on the
Killed it.
BWO.
She
Man,
Yes.
killed
Michael
it.
was on Christopher Holidays. Bruce
Yeah.
has been asked to go on Stewart's. Like, I've been
Oh
on
yeah.
some. Like, it's
We can't
amazing.
get it for some reason. We just can't get together on it, man. I'm
It's
It's
amazing the
gonna
hey,
positivity
happen
and
though.
the
look.
It's
impact
gonna
we're having on
happen.
the bully world. I pat every one of you on the back because, Lord, man, it's amazing. It is
Yes.
absolutely amazing. Without our viewers, the ones that are watching, the ones that are going to watch, like, thank y'all because we do it for y'all.
Yep.
And
Oh,
thank y'all for
absolutely.
viewing in, and thank y'all for the love, the support, the loyalty that y'all show week in and week out. It's amazing. It really is. Like, we do this to make sure that, like, we learn, and I
Yes.
learn every single week.
Every
Every week.
But to
Every week I
week.
bring
learn
this
something.
to
I
the
love it.
viewers is why we do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And yeah.
Well, I got the gem, you know, the little tidbit of knowledge that that y'all like to where you make sure you learn something, right?
Oh yeah. You bring it every week. It's
Hey,
crazy. I learn so much from you.
here's a
It's
good
wicked. You
here's a
Bruce
good
Caleb,
one.
like every time. Every time.
This is a gem,
Here
right? Yeah,
we go.
we'll have to hide this. We won't even be able to repeat this, right?
It's
Uh,
going on the
eh,
YouTube, Michael.
yeah. Well, that's hidden enough, right? So hybrid vigor is not a dead end.
No. You can reverse engineer that.
So how you bypass hybrid vigor whenever that happens is you inbreed. You inbreed and break that polygenetic chain, and you're right back in a good spot.
Mhm.
And breed a line breed.
You inbreed. So when you have a say if you get a female that's hybrid vigor, the result you would take her right back to her dad
There
Damn
you go.
right.
and
There
break
you go.
that and that will break that hybrid vigor
I
in your
guess
in your
I guess I always call that line breeding, but I mean
Well, that
Well,
is that is
here's
line that
it
can
falls
be line
into
breeding,
that
but
category for sure. But like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
just
there's
want to
certain.
get I just wanted to get, the facts that what he was talking about in case I have a hybrid vigor.
Well,
Oh yeah.
a hybrid vigor,
In
like
case
if you have a
you have a hybrid vigor.
if you have an
Yeah.
exceptional dog, Bruce, and you've put and there's been 4 people stud off that dog and nobody's got anything that looks
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like them,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
that's what
it's
hybrid
all
yeah,
over
vigor
the
yeah,
is,
board.
and that happens.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
if you take a production of his back to him, it'll break
you
that
lock it in.
chain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll unlock it.
I got you.
Yeah, it'll put you back in a better it'll
Yes.
increase your odds for the next litter after that for that dog to produce. It'll make it easier for them to be more consistent
So
with their
You know,
productions for
So
sure.
for
you
those
know
of
what?
people that are pushing the envelope and wind up in a situation where they get in hybrid vigor, you can undo it by tightening it up,
Mhm.
doubling down back in like that.
And see,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad you
way
said
easier to
that
do with the
because
female.
I never knew that.
Mhm.
Just like I just learned something else tonight. Because if I have a male that don't produce, he's no longer gonna breed to nothing in my yard. That's always how it's been. If I'm gonna breed 3, 4 females and don't nothing come out looking like him, why should I keep a good pet home? You know what I'm saying?
Ah. Hmm.
That's just the
But
way I have done it.
if he's
Yeah, yeah.
got something special though, but you just can't recreate it, you can take him back to
There we
one
go.
of his daughters and pull it
There we
right
go.
back out of
I
him.
didn't
Yeah,
know
There we go.
that.
yeah. Pick the
I like
daughter,
that.
Know that.
literally like, yeah, and take her back to him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, a
What,
lot of people ruin their
35
own
years of
studs.
breeding?
A lot of people
Huh?
ruin their own studs because they just throw them to anything and everything, and it makes no
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
people say
it's just like
approved
when they should
females,
be
that's
select
for a
females only. They
reason.
need that.
Like, it's not because I'm not worried about what my stud's producing. If it's a line bred stud with a high COI, Genesis COI was 20. We knew that he was consistent and how she was bred and things like that. But it's like these
He
females
froze up.
that are unworthy, like of that stud, like, again, mitochondrial DNA, the female is going to dictate, depending on the COI, things like that. Pair your stud up right for success.
Yes.
You can't
Mhm.
you
Oh yeah,
can't
be hyper
wait for your
select.
stud to come through every single breeding if it's bred to a dog that's just completely scatterbred. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna the legacy starts moment one, breeding one. So approved females, that's for a reason. It's calculated.
Yeah, when they
It's
say
not.
approved females, they should mean that shit.
Yes, and stand on that. Don't just take money. Don't if you're doing it for
Mhm.
money, get
Yep.
out. Lord, it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna
you're doing
cost you more.
it for the wrong reason for sure.
Yes. Hey,
Oh,
now,
absolutely.
Hector asks, I guess he was talking about the breeding that you was talking about going back to the daughter or whatever. He said, why not outcross? But you specifically explained that, maybe he missed it or something, you know.
Oh,
Nope, he got knocked off.
But let's hit on that real quick
right
because there
when
was
you
a
needed
question.
it.
Let's it's gonna be a female again that female looks the way that look. If you
Did I
outcross
do
it,
that?
it's going to be a scatterbred. She's not going to throw that look again. It's just going further down the road.
Can y'all hear me?
It's going further down the problem.
I can't
To
hear y'all.
fix the problem, go
You
back
can't hear
to
me?
what
Oh, I can now.
huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Go
But
ahead.
yeah, to fix the
Okay,
problem,
go
like if you
ahead.
go back to
I
the
gotta
source
quit
of
trying
it
to
to make
comment
sure
and
that they
heart
can
people's
actually throw
comments.
that.
That's how I get kicked off every time.
Is Michael back?
I
Because
wind up touching their
he's
name
frozen
by
on my
mistake with
picture.
these big old fat thumbs of mine, and winds up pulling me to their page and pulling me right out of it.
I know. No one is allowed to like touch like or call me or anything. Like everyone's getting ignored. So like like nobody else exists except for y'all. I guess
Yeah, I'm
this.
just like I'll be scrolling through the comments and I'll try to heart somebody's comment, and if
Oh
you touch
no.
their name, it'll go to their Facebook page.
Well, so remember when I was talking to BWO crew, that's what I was saying was I have my laptop right here and then I have like the phone that I go live from, right? So I'm never touching this phone. This phone does not exist. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's what
just
I
the
need to
camera and
do.
the mic, and that's all it is, right? Everything else is done right through here because I've met me. I'm gonna mess it up if I try to do everything from the same device. I'm gonna mess it up. I know it.
Oh
I
yeah,
know. I've
that was
met
the
me again.
last
I know
straw
it's
for
gonna
me
happen.
right then. I'm done. I've got a laptop and I've got a home computer. I need to do better, Amanda.
Well, and
Hey,
I just, it was just one of those things where like, I don't even remember when I started doing that. I honestly don't, but it was relatively early on. And I think it was because I was
There he
having
is.
such an issue with it, trying to comment at the same time, like, well, like like, oh my God, trying to comment while so I was like, screw this noise. I'm just gonna, add the laptop. But that's why, but yeah, Michael, that's why I do it. This is
That's a
because
great. That's a
I'm gonna
great
kick
idea.
myself out of here every time I try to do something on my phone while I'm on the live. It's gonna happen every time. Every time. I mean, it's almost like Walmart Wi-Fi, right, Kiko? Is that Kiko? Sorry.
Oh, that's so funny. Way to
Sorry.
introduce. Way to
You do
introduce.
have.
Thank you. The intro of the
Man,
joke was well set up.
pressure has got the worst gas.
Oh my gosh. I'd ask you what you've been feeding him, but we had that discussion last week. Well, okay, so
He's been
Adonis
hurting
has been
tonight.
having some weird what I call rumbly in the tumbly. And I have been trying to like, there's pumpkin and, just trying to like starch up his food, bland it out a little bit, with the rice and just, chicken, whatever. Just trying to bland everything out, add some pumpkin. And man, I mean, he gurgling. You could just sit there and hear it from across the room. You're like, oh my God, are you okay? It's just like so
Chicken
bad.
and rice, cooked chicken and rice,
Yes.
and the rice made with the chicken broth.
Yes, correct. Yeah. That's what.
That's a good reset.
Mhm. Oh,
That's
absolutely. And I mean,
that's a
obviously,
good
the
reset.
initial try is to go ahead and fast them for a day, kind of, see
Hmm.
if that resets. And if not, that's when you start taking obviously the more bland measures. But normally, I mean, I've been pretty lucky that my dogs, like they fast either resets them or just a serving or two of pumpkin for a day or two. And
Hmm.
it's just like they've been incredibly receptive to that. Now I've lucked out. Some people aren't that lucky, and some folks have to use the bland diet for several days in order to kind of reset. So
You know what you can also use instead of the pumpkin, or as an alternative to the pumpkin, the enzyme content is a little bit higher if you get the refrigerated kind instead of what's on the shelf. But you can get sauerkraut, and have
never done
they
that.
have sauerkraut on the shelf, but they also have it like
Yeah, and
refrigerated.
yeah,
And the
yeah, I've seen it.
refrigerated sauerkraut has more enzymes in it, like living cultures in it, and sour cream is also another good one.
I
You
have a
can
ton of that, and I just never thought about that.
and so you can take a scoop of sour cream and a scoop of sauerkraut with a little bit of the juice in it too, and that's really good for the like microbiome for their digestion and stuff like that.
Because
Yep.
I've had I know Mary, who I got Adonis from, Mary Scribner. I know she uses yogurt as well to do that.
You know
And
what kefir
mhm,
is?
mhm.
Yeah, I
Same
drink
aisle.
kefir sometimes. Yeah, it's been around for 2,500 years or something, right?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that kefir is just like liquid drinkable yogurt, and it's a probiotic and prebiotic. It's got the living cultures in it, and that's if I haven't ever actually used yogurt, but I'll use that kefir. I'll put some of that in the food for them. It works well.
I have to
Man,
actually,
let
yeah.
us see the trophy wall back there, Mr. Clean.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Lee.
Good job.
They're all up there
Oh
too.
yeah.
Look at that. Mercy, son.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you
You're
what,
gonna need more walls.
it
You gonna run
does
out
it.
of room, bro.
You're gonna run out of
It
wall.
it
Yeah, he's gonna run out of real estate there, man.
What's crazy is it looks really cool
There's a
in the
big one up there.
background, but like when you see it in person, it's really a lot more than what you
Yeah,
see on the
yeah,
Yeah,
screen.
I'm
yeah.
sure it's really intimidating. I know I'd walk in there and be
It
like,
is.
I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore.
That's a
Please.
lot of
Yeah.
ribbons. That's
I
a
was
lot of
standing
A
ribbons.
lot of
Yeah,
right there on
yeah, man.
that tabletop in front of where the ribbons are, getting my puppy paperwork, and Caleb's fishing it out there and getting it, and we were doing all that, and I was sitting there just like,
Yeah. Hey, I'll
do
give
it.
y'all a tour real quick, man. Like so, check it out. This is where all the magic. Oh,
Oh,
this is where. This is where all the magic takes place.
go a little closer
It's
to
our
the trophies, Caleb,
welcome
where you
room.
can see them. It's
or
small.
maybe the dog right there. That'd be nice. That's nice.
Yeah, this is where I do the live right here. Hey, man, we got some cool names up here, man. Bruce and Michael are up here. Amanda, I don't see you.
Every time. I
Let's
swear
put
he's
them
just
on
gonna
the trophy.
it's just like salt in that wound. He's just gonna
There you go. Now you can see the ribbons.
Yeah.
Yeah, got the incubator, man. Hey, all the pictures, like dogs on our yard, some more ribbons,
Trophies up
man,
top.
productions.
Yeah.
Did you leave any for anybody else or like
Show them that
well done.
Yeah,
stupid
man.
game
Hey,
that
this
is
is
the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
Oh mercy.
I beat
this right
Caleb like by accident.
Oh that
I beat him
oh
by
yeah.
accident one
here.
time, and then he made me want to
Hey,
quit all night after that.
We've got those
we got
here.
upstairs.
It's nice up
That will be
here
coming
too.
soon.
It's
Oh,
Look,
nice.
oh, so yours
Let's
is
see if I can hook
like industrial
one of them.
size. Like this is some bullshit. Like the one I have is just like, it's a small little setup. You're standing about like 4 feet away, 3 feet away, whatever. That's freaking ridiculous, sir.
are you going
Stay like a mile
outside?
away, sir.
Yeah. Hey, this is our backyard. So
Can you
we got
see
the
the
LED lights going
can you see
around.
the vine bench? Probably not at night, huh?
Shoot, I doubt it. Once I get out here to a certain way, man, it's going to
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
do
we
lose
that.
know.
service.
You
Yeah,
lose service inside.
yeah, yeah.
You would
Bruce,
service
Hey,
hush
when
your
you
you
mouth.
can't.
sneeze,
Hush your
sir.
mouth.
When you sneeze. All right? I'm gonna need you to bring it
But
back
yeah,
in.
like this. Hey, this side right here is like the puppy side. I think Nakai just turned the lights on. Thank you, baby.
She leaves the lights on for
She
you.
must be
That's so
watching.
cute.
But yeah, this side right here is like the puppy side, and this is like all Genesis Productions. And this side right here, we got Mulatto. Man, we got Mulatto and Duce. Like we 3 of their
Oh, I
puppies.
love
We got
Raven.
Raven over there. Lord, we got Iki, Yoko daughter. We bred the Yoko on his retirement breeding to like
Then
Techno daughter.
then
Lord
those inside
Jesus.
runs.
The dogs
Those
that we
inside
got over
runs y'all
here.
have in there, they actually have an outdoor part too.
Right.
That's on the backside right there. That's the backside of them there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Those
so they actually like indoor outdoor. It is
Yeah.
it
So
is it is purely environmental
yeah,
control to so
there's
it's
4 kennels set up right here. This is where the inside outside. Levi's right here. Levi. Of course, he's not gonna come. The time I try to
he's like,
call him,
I
he's
don't
not gonna come. And then
dance. I don't dance. Listen.
then we got 2 right here that are empty. Like we've had 4
Mm,
litters in here.
mm, mm, mm.
Levi.
Hey, if he ain't out there, we know where
We
he's
got
at.
AC Heat right here. Yeah,
Oh, we're
that's
gonna
the
wind
I
up
stay in
losing
here.
him. Watch.
I know.
Yeah.
I was about to say he's skipping
Shoot.
out. It's good. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, get in there. Get in there. And that. See all those right there are the inside of the wood right there, inside of the kennels.
All right, I'm back.
Where's Levi at?
What was I buffering?
Bring us our Levi.
Levi. Yeah, so here's
Oh,
he's over here snoozing.
we're losing him. Oh God.
There he is. There he is.
Big ol' hot
Hey, big
of a dog.
boy.
Look at that face. Look at that face. Y'all know what that looks like. Y'all seen it. Y'all see what that face looks like.
Look, there's two
Who is
of the
that
sons
little
right
ankle
there.
biting dog right
Yeah.
there jumping, running around in there?
I've been trying to get him to close up on that puppy
that's
that's in
numbers
there,
right there.
and he won't do it. I've asked like twice now.
Yeah,
He's being
being real
I don't know
secretive
non-cooperative.
that.
about this
Mhm.
puppy, man.
He's
I
hey,
know. That's
special.
why I want to look
He is
at it.
special.
I'm like, you're fighting. You're fighting me. You were not being cooperative, sir. It's fine. I forgive
Yes.
you. I forgive you.
Oh yeah, he's our secret weapon. He
I'm
will be
excited.
released when it's time, and he will do with his name being
I
numbers. Look at those shoulders.
Hey.
Look
know
at that neck.
he's evolving beautifully. Pressure is. He's filling out.
Yeah, he's getting to be a big boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he ain't even
All,
done yet. You just wait.
all that whistling and carrying on we just did. He had enough of being in my lap for all that. He's ready to move around.
Yeah. He's still snoring in the
My
background in the
bad.
tent
My bad.
somewhere.
he
Hey.
literally just like sneezed at me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's when they're all aggravated, man. It's so funny.
My dogs have like that real like that sigh, that really heavy sigh. They all do it. Adonis, who is like
Oh
the
yeah.
most copacetic, you know, calm. I guess this is what we're doing now, dog. And yet every once in a while, I'll get this out of him, and
Yeah.
I just it's like,
Don't you look at him and you're like,
I'm
what
like,
did you just say?
Helios is nothing but sass. That boy sighs at me constantly.
I
He's
tell Pressure all the
bored with
time,
me.
like,
He's
bro,
tired of my
don't talk to me
shenanigans.
like
But
that.
no, he's a sassy. He just gives me this look all the time. Like,
Well, here's a question for you, Caleb. So, what if is there anything that that Bully Pride Production is working to incorporate right now that's kind of a new part of y'all's program? Not just dogs, but like something y'all are that's been brought to light, maybe that y'all are trying to bring in more, or something, like a shift in anything that y'all are doing, or y'all maintaining course, or
Each breeding should be assessed, and each breeding is assessed with ours. Like, what needs to be, did it hit? Like, you can't sit there and say 3 generations ahead and not be able to do an audible. Is there being audibles being made? Absolutely. That was, course intended. We knew that it was coming. We knew we had backup plans in place. So yes, there's more girth, there's more bone, things like that that's being added. 2 things we will never, ever, ever differ on is the head size and the back size. I think people really, really
oh
need to
yeah.
look at
when you
that,
say back
especially with
size, what do you mean?
XLs. The head shape is
When you
the
say
most.
back size, what do you mean?
What's that?
Oh, length of the back.
The
Oh,
length of the back.
oh yeah,
The length
yeah.
of
You
the
want to compact
back.
up it.
Like, I think that is one of the. Yes, that is my really
Right?
my pet peeve. Like, when people sit there and say, "Oh, my dog's 170 pounds," if it's 3 feet, 4 feet long, that's not impressive to me.
Well,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I want a bully, an American bully. The head shape is the most distinctive feature of the American bully. Caleb, what's your ideal head for male and
Same.
female?
It should be the same. Like female or male, it should kind of be the same.
It depends. The shape is more important
Yes.
to me than the size. The head shape. Like, some people go too close with the muzzle. Some people say 2 finger. It really depends on the finger size, because my fingers and Bruce's fingers are going to.
Yeah. You can get too
But
short.
I want it to be all proportionate.
Got it out again.
The shoulder set should be proportional. The back should be a square. It should be a very proportioned, nice proportioned dog. Rear is so overlooked, but the length of the back, I think that really. What's that?
I lost about half of what you were saying.
Yeah, you're kind of getting it out.
There you
Damn it.
are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Walk to the router.
All right. Yeah, but The length of the back. I think that's so important that many people overlook. The shorter the back, the less likely for faults. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
the less likely for a sway in
Yeah,
the back,
less real
the less
estate to
likely
mess
for
up.
a high rear.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then it's fully, the
Yeah.
weight looks proportionate to the dog. The weight's going to be dispersed however long the dog is. I want the head shape and I want a short back. And I want the muzzle to be proportionate
Right.
to
Yeah.
the
A
head
lot of
shape.
people, just like you said earlier, they try to be like, oh, it's a, two finger, three finger, whatever. But all that's relative. Like it really, it's not a one size fits all. These dogs are not one size fits all. They're three height sizes. Yeah. I mean, so it's like you kind of got to take that into account. So it's like that same principle doesn't always work out. And not to mention a lot of people, and I've actually had this conversation recently with somebody. They were like, oh, I feel like my dog's muzzle might be a little bit too long right now. And I was like, how old is your dog? And they're like, oh, well, it's only like, 6 or 9 months. I'm like, girl, just wait, because the dog hasn't like none of the jaw hasn't filled in yet. It hasn't had its first pop yet at all. So again, those frontalis, it's like they haven't popped yet either. So I'm just like, just wait for a second. Like, don't panic just yet. Yeah.
And understanding
Exactly.
the
Like some of these
blood,
dogs take
understanding the blood
forever.
it comes
Yeah,
from, when
absolutely.
that
I mean,
pop comes.
Adonis, like he comes from blood that was popping all the way to 5 years old. Like, so I fully expect him to not be done yet either, and I remember his first pop wasn't even until he's like almost 18 months old. And when it did, I mean, it totally different dog. And then even every single pop after that was just this new additive of like, where did this come from? And you just build on what you have, but like to panic so early on, it's just like don't do that just yet. Like wait until the dog is almost fully matured before you start kind of worrying about like especially when it comes to muzzles. There's a difference between a longer muzzle and a snipey muzzle. There is a difference. It's all about, shape versus, I mean, and instead of in contrast to length. Like length is one of those things that is going to change in accordance to like the way that the head starts to fill out. Snipey is a trait. Like that is just the way the muzzle is shaped. So that is very, very different. So like snipey muzzle versus longer muzzle, two different things. Don't panic yet until you know which one you're looking at. Like if you snipey muzzle, the likelihood of that going away is obviously, but it'll be less noticeable if the head fills out. But obviously, a longer muzzle, those dogs' heads are going to start popping. Those jaws are going to fill out. They're going to apple out. And at that point, it's like you're going to notice that length shortens.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you touched on something good there,
Yes.
and also Caleb was saying when he was cutting out pretty bad about. I think people say the headpiece,
Yeah.
and I don't know that they know really what they mean by that. What the
I felt
headpiece
it.
is, and what there's more than just the inches around of the head. Like there's a 28-inch head, yeah, but if it doesn't have the right spread between the ears, or it doesn't have the crown,
There
it doesn't have
we
a good
go.
stop.
The
There's
The
jowl,
jowl.
the eye
hanging
set is
down.
strangely.
There's a lot of things that can make a head.
Yes.
Oh, the droop
Droopy
eyes.
eyes.
Oh, it just irks me.
I don't like droopy
I,
eyes, man.
I don't
if
either.
I
Neither
had
do
a
I.
mastiff, that'd be fine,
Mhm.
but I don't. So I
Right.
don't want you guys. Like,
But all of that plays in part of the head,
Mhm.
like Mike's
Yeah,
talking
it's all
about.
when people say headpiece, it's all that.
The head of the American bully. It all.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
oh
Eye
yeah.
separation.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything.
And you can tell that when they're puppies. Like some people like that's one of the attributes that they're looking for. They're looking for that eye set and the spread.
The width
Because sometimes that can
right
be
here.
indicative.
Yes,
Mhm.
Lord.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yes, top
Yes.
Genesis
skull.
had that
Top
width between
skull.
like the inside ear to
You
inside
did.
ear.
Both my hands.
Yeah,
Both
literally
my
like
hands could fit
so
on his head.
It
wide
starts
right
with the
here.
instrument for no damn
Yeah.
reason.
That was a beautiful part. That beyond the inches around of his head, which I think he was close to 27, but um, the spread of that crown right there on top, the between just straight on top of the head between the ears there, was so wide, and it gave him a certain look that I really really liked about his headpiece. And that's what it was. I've looked at his
Yeah.
headpiece like really studied it to try to figure out like what is it, man, about it that makes him look so different, you know? And that's what it is. That's what it is, man. That sucker's wide on top, man. And I like the look of that. I do. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good
Oh yeah.
deal.
There's a lot of people that think that they have big dogs, and
Amanda.
then they said it. They would walk up to Jen and be like, "I retract my statement.
I'll
I'm,
tell you,
I back off."
Yeah.
Like, oh
We
my
put him next
gosh,
to
this
every
I,
makes
dog.
no
I
He's
was
sense.
fine.
tripping on Archangel having a 27-inch head, not because his head doesn't look 27, but it's so proportionate to his body that
So big.
that
Such a big
in a
dog.
picture you wouldn't say, oh, that dog has a 27-inch head,
You wouldn't
because
know it.
in proportion
So,
to his body it doesn't look like a 27-inch head because his
so
chest
you're
is so
standing in
wide.
front of him, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is a freaking rhinoceros. This is
Dude,
insane."
it's a rhinoceros, man.
He is such a big, awesomely gentle dog. It's just so fun. He's a big sweet guy. Big
Boy,
sweet guy.
if I could get one like him,
Yes.
like on a 21-inch frame.
Oh man.
Ooh, baby, you'd be formidable. Get to
Yeah.
working on that. I know you are.
His back's so
I know you
short,
are.
dude. That's a bully,
You got
man. That
this.
is a
You got
bull.
this.
I'm
But
working
I
on
see where you're going.
it. I'm working on it.
Yes, he does. Look at
I'm working
him.
on
Look at him. His
it.
mouth. Hey, he
I
Oh
got
yeah,
knows. He's like,
something brewing.
yeah.
Hey, I got something brewing on that
I
area
know
too.
you do.
do it. Oh man, I'm
I
excited to
already
see it.
know.
Because I mean, I look at it this
Man,
way, Bruce. Like you've been doing this for, you know,
52 years
stop
57
we've been
throwing
years,
doing this.
Caleb.
numbers. Caleb, I was trying to be nice about this shit. Listen, no, but like you've been doing this, you've been doing this, for long enough, and it's just one of those things where like you have
Come on.
the capability of making this happen, and I love that you're wanting to do it the right way, and I am stoked. I'm so stoked at what you're gonna create. I'm very, very, very stoked that you have that lab coat
hey,
back
but
on.
look, I'm gonna let y'all know something. I usually didn't breed but like 1 litter a year. I let all my
Mhm.
females go out of heat. I done
You're
bred
telling
four
us.
females. Four females
You
bred.
done bred for?
Four.
Huh? The last
I got
month?
one. Hey, look, I got one to be due December the 3rd.
Team no sleep. You
Yes,
ain't
sir.
good,
Let's go, Bruce.
man.
Let's go, Bruce.
New kitchen, new
That's what's
backyard
up.
situation, for
I'm back,
breeding.
baby.
Good God, Bruce, who is this?
Y'all,
New
hey,
phone, who this?
look, y'all pulled it
Yeah,
out of
Bruce,
me.
who?
Y'all pulled it out. Y'all got me back to the drawing
I'm
board.
okay with taking that
Love it,
Hey,
credit.
man.
I'm okay with that because I know what you're capable of. So I will be. I'm happy to take some credit for that. That's awesome.
Come here.
Yes, Amanda, I've been waiting a year and a half since you joined this live. Ask me the famous question before we
Wait.
close, because
All
I am so ready
right.
for this.
So you got a lot of new breeders coming in. They're uncertain of what they need to do to get in the game. What advice do you have?
There we go. I've been waiting for this. Mentorship should be natural. Don't force it. Do not force mentorship. Just because you bought a dog from someone does not mean they're a mentor. We preach mentorship all the time. Mentorship should come very natural, and it's people that you don't do business with, that people that don't get anything from you. That's the best mentorship that you can possibly get.
Hmm.
Bruce Lane Jr. in the bottom left corner of mine is a mentor to me. Me and him, we tried a breeding.
Yeah.
We did do a breeding. It didn't take. But Bruce, me and him have never exchanged a dollar to each other, and I'll never take a dollar from him. Like that right there is a man that was a mentor to me when I didn't ask for anything, when I didn't need anything, but he was there when I did need something. And it happened very, very natural. So pick your mentor very, very wisely. The reason why you got into dogs, always keep that forefront of your brain, because during the process of it, things are going to take place. We've been in this 8 years. There's been a lot of things that have taken place, a lot of people that have come for us, things like that. The people that have stayed true to us, the people that were really in our corner, I would never, ever, ever forget those individuals. The people that believed in us from day one, I would never, ever forget those people. Always stay true to why you got into the dogs, and always stay true to the people that believed in you from day one. Don't ever switch up on those people, because those people were the ones that believed in you before anything took place. A lot of people will come and go in chapters of your life because they want something from you. The ones that were there from the get-go, the true mentors also that I was talking about that never had any business with you, those are the ones that you really need to reach out to. Those are the ones that you need to lean on during hard times. The people that come and go, learn what a relationship is, and learn each individual relationship is different. Don't dive into it thinking it's something that it's not. If someone's trying to sell you a dog, they're trying to sell you a pipeline dream. If someone is trying to do something, they're trying to, it's just, XYZ. The people that were there from the get-go, like, I will never, ever forget those. And a shout out a couple. Kadarius, Bruce Lane.
So Kadarius who?
Kadarius Taylor. Giovanni King. Chris Brown. Man, Jamario Lawless. Antonio McClinney. Man, Corey O'Neal. Michael Higgason. Amanda Nixon. Like Bruce Lane Jr., if I didn't say it again. Man, gotta shout out to my wife again, Nakaya. Man, the people that really stay true to us, Ty Williams, Jamel Grace, all these relationships that have happened, but it's happened because of dogs. Like the good outweighs the bad. And always know what you got into the dogs for, like I said, and always keep it about the dogs. The breedings that you're doing, if it's not bettering the breed, if it's not bettering the last breeding you did, take a second look on why you're doing it. Because if you're doing it for financial gain, if you're doing it for color, if you're doing it for anything like that, don't do it. You're putting into the pool gene something that doesn't need to be involved in that. Or sell it with just no papers. Like, I don't know. But keep it bully, like Jose Lucero, man, trademarked it. Keep it bully and keep it about the dogs, and learn what each relationship is, because there's a lot of backstabbing that takes place the further you go. So make sure you can count on people that really keep you in it. Thank God me and my wife do this together, and we love the dogs together, and our family's involved, because now we lean on each other, and we'll, like, when times get rough, like, again, shout out Nakaya Weddle, Lord Jesus. The conversations we've had, the miles that we've traveled together, man, the Buc-ee's that we've slept at in the parking lots, the day that Genesis championed out, we were on a spare tire. We couldn't get a tire until the next Monday. We drove all the way to Lawrenceville, Georgia on a spare tire to champion Genesis out. And that's actually the day we met Emmanuel Tavares.
Beautiful soul.
He was 12 months, 17 days, man. 12 months, 17 days, Genesis champion out, baby Casey. But yes, keep it about the dogs, and man, stay true to who you are.
Such a beautiful soul, man.
Don't lose yourself in the midst of things.
You're lucky, man.
She is a beautiful soul, man. Yeah, you are a lucky man. Yeah.
Yes, she is. We have two beautiful children. I'm a producer, baby. Selective breedings, baby.
It might be her that's the producer.
Oh.
It might be her that's the producer.
Oh my gosh. Mitochondrial DNA. She definitely overrode.
Yeah, the mitochondrial DNA is strong. The force is strong in this one.
Oh my gosh, forget y'all. Hey man, no, I love each and every one of you, like a part of this cast, man, the viewers that are watching. Seriously, we do this for y'all, and man, thank y'all so much. Like, for the 2 years, 2 long, hard years that we didn't know when we were gonna, like. And Amanda, you took us to another whole nother level. Bruce, you rode with me, man. You rode with me, man. Man, that's true right there. Like, no one can ever, Bruce, me and you, man, no, nothing.
Bruce inspired me to get back in the gym all the way from Alabama. I got tired of seeing That man throwing all that weight up. I said, man, that's it. I can't take it no more. I'm going
It's
back.
in the
I'm back on.
complex, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's in the
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to say
complex
this
already.
though
Shit.
before we get off of here. Hey, we thank you guys for joining in with us. Hey, I know you had to learn something tonight. Next week, Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we got Amanda on the slab. We're gonna be asking her some questions. Hey, get y'all notebooks started right now after tonight. Let's fire her up next week, baby. We coming in strong. She's smart. She's smart.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
See, that's the center of
Doggone
Bruce.
right,
Slam
babe. That's
dunk
what
at
I'm
the end,
talking about.
baby.
Big
Also,
Let's
we're
Big
gonna
go.
Ben
graze
Kennel
over
said
that one.
315 for 9 reps.
Big Bruce.
What you say, Mike?
Big
Yes.
Ben Kennel said
Hey.
315 for 9
That's
reps.
my
Gosh, boy.
reps, baby.
Yeah.
315. 9
Yeah.
reps, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it was a study on that. 5% of people in the United States can only lift 315 once, 1 rep max. And that's what I work out with.
I'm glad we're part of that 5%, my boy.
Yeah.
What we Kemosabe, listen.
Oh, shoot. But
Oh, you said 315. No. I thought you said 215. My bad.
Hey,
Easy
I can
stick
lift
today.
315, but I can't do it 9 times. Not yet.
Oh
oh,
my God.
man.
Oh my gosh, man. Hey, y'all tune in next Tuesday,
Yeah.
every Tuesday. Like, man, much love. I love what we do here. Like, we're not going anywhere. Like, every time we think that we ran out of guests, like a
Absolutely.
Yep.
whole another pool opens up. Well, that whole other pool has been opened, and
Oh, yeah.
it's only getting better.
For sure.
Lord Jesus. Dave Wilson, Rolando
Sinatra.
Mata, Foley
Oh,
the Kid.
Sinatra?
so not,
Man,
yeah.
the
Oh my
names.
gosh. OG Ram. I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Sinatra, man.
we've had some
It's amazing.
phenomenal people on here. And
Amazing.
again, you know, we are very specific with like who we're trying to bring on. It's these, you know, these folks who like they love to teach, and that whole, you know, drive to mentor is part of who they are as an individual, not even just something that they picked up along the way. It's like they are naturally inclined to help and to educate. And that is something that like when we're kind of trying to decide who's going to be, you know, the next guest and the next guest, like those are traits we're looking for. Are people who like that's their jam, because at that point it's just like it makes it so much easy. Everything is just so academic at that point, you know.
Absolutely. And I love when
Oh,
people reach out to us. Like, don't
never
stop
hesitate.
yourself reaching out from us when you
Never
tell
hesitate.
us who you want to come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is why we do it. Like, we listen to y'all and we implement
Mhm.
that when the timing is right. So
Oh,
please know that we take those into
All you got to
consideration.
do is reach out to me. Like I said, I always tell people I don't know everything, but if I don't know the answer, I bet I can get
Oh,
it.
oh,
yeah.
absolutely,
No doubt.
absolutely.
You'll get it
Yeah,
right here, baby, on Tuesday
have
Night
voice,
Live.
baby. That's what we're here for. Every Tuesday we wake up like this. So thank you guys again for, tuning in, and Caleb, again, thank you for the opportunity to have me on here in a general sense. But two, I mean, just thank you for being a pillar, in this community. You and Nakia have just created this new trend of Excel that I just really think needs to stick, and
Proud of y'all, damn it.
proud of y'all, damn it.
Appreciate you, my boy.
Yes.
Hey, Justin, I see you. Hey,
Yes.
Eric Solis, I'll be reaching
Yeah.
out to you.
Yeah, we heard you, Justin. We heard you. We heard you for sure. Definitely thank you.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I
Well,
love
all
it,
right,
though.
you guys. Well, it's been a
Yeah.
blast. I guess
Pleasure,
I
man.
will see you. I don't know who I'm seeing this weekend. Bruce.
I'll be there.
Holla. All
Y'all
right.
send me some
Caleb,
pictures,
you got
man. I
liturgy,
ain't gonna
I'm
be able to
sure.
make this one. Y'all send me some pictures. I'd love
That
to
sounds
see
a lot.
everybody
Yeah,
together.
that's well. I'll come to you.
Amanda, finish the mission. Finish the
Mhm.
mission. Do your thing. We'll see you
All right.
Tuesday.
We will
We'll see you
see y'all
Tuesday.
next week.
All right.
All
Tuesday.
right. Love
Good
y'all,
night,
man.
guys.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Peace.